Well, hello, everybody. Let's try this again. Welcome to Tuesday Night Fistivities. KB here with you, Karyn Bryant. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty, and that sucks because all the links that I put out before don't work now, which is a real effing bummer, if I'm being honest with you. And that's probably why there's only one person here. So I don't know what to do right now in terms of letting people know that there's a different link. And so forgive me that this show right now at the beginning is probably not that interesting to you. Anyway, we are going to have Tim Means on with us today, though. So that is going to be pretty great. So listen, I don't want to talk to you and tweet at the same time. Here, I tell you what, look who is already here, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is actually perfect because Renato Laranja is here with How are you?
Canchare, oh, porra
Listen,
caralho, oh. What's
hi.
up?
Okay, so what happened? What happened was this is a major problem. If I'm honest with you now, I'm like actually pretty stressed out. I had made all these links and all this stuff for the show, and when I set the show up this time, the link place was like, oh, it didn't work, try again, right? So I had to retry it. So then there was two of them, so I deleted one and I made one and I kept checking it and it was saying it was going to work and everything. Then I go to start the show and it goes, oh, it looks like you deleted this broadcast. Bitch, I didn't. You know what I mean? And so now I all these links that I set up before, all these, Nikes, we might not even be on the website right now. God.
Well, what do you need from me? What you need from your uncle? Your uncle Hanach's gonna make.
I might need you to hold on. Let me see. I might need you to entertain the people while they actually can look at me doing this. But I might need to be on the computer here.
That's something I can do.
Yeah, because all this stuff now doesn't work because those are dead links and I'm freaking out and I had to send him another message and hopefully he saw it. And like, I hate doing all this mother cracking tech stuff. It triggers me to no end. I have like the flop sweats now and I'm really like annoyed.
Okay, well, here, if this is gonna make you feel better, I got a link for you here, waiting for you when you're ready for it. It's a sausage link for her. Like in Hillshire Farm. It's gonna cheer you right up for her.
How about you do this? How about you entertain the people? I'm gonna actually get out of the chat so people don't see me typing. And like, can you entertain them for 2-3 minutes while I like redo some things?
Yeah, let me just see what's going on. I'll take the temperature of the people here.
Okay, thank you.
They probably love this. Oh God, let's see what we got here. First of all, let me bless you with some more lighting. How's that for you guys? Okay, well, talk to me, people. Talk to me. Oh, caralho. What we got here? Yeah, big salsichi. Salsichio. Okay, Brandon QFG. He wanted her to be the sugar baby. What about me? Dollar Tree. That costs more than you whole dinner. Where the fuck are we at here? Dinero Impress. I can't see myself, so when I look at the comments, I can't see myself, so I have to just take your word for it. Great Dollar Tree shirt. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Dollar Tree. You show me the Dollar Tree where they got shirts like that. I need to find that one. We're going to do an interview with fighters again. Well, funny enough, I'm just about to do an interview with a fighter, and you're gonna get to watch it. So, and I do it every week. Yeah, don't sit black me, porra. What kills you every time? And you have to excuse me. I can't believe I'm not sick anymore, but I'm still a little stuffed up. It's been like over 2 weeks now that I've been fighting off this fucking Corrivin. Doing an interview for once. I don't know what you mean, but I do interviews every fucking week, boy.
Okay, Renato. Hi. I'm back. I'm actually like really really mad right now.
Well, don't don't let it to get you too down here.
It's just that I try so hard. You don't even understand. I mean, you don't understand like how much work I do to prep this and get it right. And at the last minute when that thing said it wasn't right. And well,
let's put it to you this way. It's not your fault. It's just sometimes these gremlin and things like that happen. I've had a lot of problem with my Wi-Fi and all this type of shit, and the people still enjoy the stuffs. Even when it was Max Headroom, they liked that one, and I was furious. And I hit a cricket in the wall, and I had Covino. The life is bring you a lemon, and when life give you lemon, don't get AIDS. Don't turn that one into an AIDS.
Okay, well, thank you for that. That makes sense. And VT is saying, you're here, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is actually live, Moses Hanon. If you can tell by the mayhem that ensues every now and then, this is 100% live.
If we pre-recorded this, oh God.
Hey, but listen. Oh, okay. So hopefully I sent him a message on the Insta. That's where I've been talking to Tim, and I hope he sees it.
That's the dirty Bahadi.
Huh?
The dirty Bahadi. I on the green room, I ran into some people that went to school with him, and they said that he's been getting into fights ever since elementary school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm gonna mention a couple stuffs. So I hope he show up.
I hope he shows up too. So I just sent another thing to tell him that I sent him a new link. Okay. So I just want to let people know, because like I said, I did all this work, Renato. Here is what is supposed to be on the show tonight. Well, so we are going to interview Tim Means. We're going to talk about that Volkov versus Rozenstruik stoppage, because a lot of people think Biggie, maybe should have gotten some extra time there. We've got our who, how, when, basically. So that's the UFC 275 preview. We'll talk about Glover versus Jiri. We'll talk about Joanna versus Weili Zhang. We'll talk about Valentina versus Tyler Santos. Then we also have, we were talking about like if people are into UFC trading cards, because I'm not sure if they are. There are some really cool ones out there. And then, Renato, this was a great idea that you had. You said sometimes there are certain months of the year, right, that people like to be coupled up, and other months where they want the freedom.
This is true. I mean, it's a classic. I mean, did you want to get into that?
Not yet. We'll get into. I'm just letting everybody know, and so then we have our nickname showdown results and the trading card stuff. And so I'm telling you, with the nickname stuff, we had a couple of blowouts last week.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Oh well, I mean, most of it was good. One was just sad to see him go. I was emotional about the ginger with the intent to do.
I know you were, weren't you?
But it will be okay if he would reach out to us. I just want to talk. I wish he would just reach out. That they know that there's a safe place for him here.
Right. Okay. Well, listen, I just realized it now. I forgot while I was gone. I didn't change the whole thing on the website. To be honest, I'm not sure how many people go to the website for it. I think more people probably look at YouTube and Twitter and Twitch.
Yeah, I think you're okay. I think
I will fix. Oh, look at this. See, luckily, Tim Means, the dirty bird, is a smart man, Renato. And he got my messages. He got the links. He is here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the dirty bird, Tim Means. What's up?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
It is great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Ending the day, so it's nice.
I'm a lot better now that you're here, Caralho.
I appreciate.
Look, the dirty bird was flap his wings and land into beautify the programming here. Oh, Caralho.
It's great to see you. Hey, could you kick a little bit more light on your face if that's possible, Tim?
Let's see. It's pretty lit up here. Let's see. Is that better?
Yeah, that's a little better. That's a little better. That's definitely better. Hey, so I'm sorry again. Go ahead, Hanat.
The people want to see the baby blues.
I know.
Mine?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. They're there.
Well, they are there.
They're usually green, but we'll go blue today.
Well, they change depending on your mood, Caralho.
Well, and speaking of that, is this a new thing that people are comparing you to Tom Brady?
No, it's been happening for a while. We got news segments and people in the airport and stuff. It's been going on for a little while.
I can see that shit. I never thought about that before. And you know what I think though? When you cut in weight, it don't look so much like a Chin Brady. Right. But now, well, maybe are you cutting weight? Yeah, you must be.
Yeah. Fight next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you look more like a Brady,
He looks like me. We'll just settle there.
Well, he's almost up to the greatness level. He's almost did what you've did in the sport.
Well, and listen, I'm from Boston, so the Patriots are actually my team, and I know he's on the Buccaneers now, which kind of sucks. But he was always my guy, favorite guy, and I would have never thought that necessarily until I was on, whatever on the internet, and then there were the side by side things, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, I guess I can kind of see it a little bit, but it never occurred to me before.
Never until now. Now I can't unsee it.
Well, there you go. So yeah, it's been happening for a little while. I've tried to, steer away from it or whatever, but it's here to stay. So
you could do worse. Are you single, my brother?
I'm married. The wife likes Tom Brady, so we're good.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You could do a lot worse. He's definitely known to be a good-looking guy.
He could have parlayed that one to a lot of punching, caralho. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow, poha. At least you get the wifey to get excited from that.
Yeah, it happens. She's like throw football.
Do you do anything?
Wait, can you do a cosplay? Like do a whole plane and like come in with a uniform or whatever?
It's got to happen. I got to get there and call some plays, down 41, find out the favorite play and run with it. Find that receiver over there and get it done.
Yeah. Wait, yeah, she can be the one who give you the ball.
The center snaps the ball.
Yeah, the center. She can be the center, and you can do it that way for her.
I think she wants.
He's just gonna be.
Yeah, she wants to be more of a playmaker, so she wants to be like the running back or the receiver, maybe a tight end.
She wants you to hand her off something,
play a little bit more, and really score that touchdown.
Oh, a tight end, kind of.
Yeah, so get it done.
Oh, Mrs. Dirty Birdie, and the Dirty Birdie is what the Falcons now. Don't they have the dance, the Dirty Bird?
Yeah, they were the original Dirty Birds. So,
well, now. I think that your name is fitting because just how you are, it just feels like it's the hype name for you, okay? But where this came from to begin with?
Yeah.
I wish it was a cool story. I had a bad haircut, it was right after high school wrestling, and you dye your hair blonde, and I tried to do the tips red.
Oof.
And a teammate said I look like a dirty bird, and the name stuck. So I tried to get around that one too and not let it settle in, but ran with it and it's paid off. So
it's what's funny, Karyn Bryant? So I can't believe we left that off the fucking list.
I know. It hurts me.
We've been doing a tournament of the best nicknames in history of MMA, and having them go head to head and shit like that over the weeks. And somehow you have one of my favorite nicknames. I fucking forgot you put it on there.
I don't understand it either, because in hindsight now it seems so egregious. Like it's the greatest nickname.
It would have made it far.
Yeah.
Because the Dirty Bird, because your style is grimy,
Yeah.
So it kind of like, the Dirty Bird. It's one of the most fitting nicknames for a fighter,
It definitely stuck. So once I started watching video and so I'm like, oh. Yeah, I do have those ostrich legs, and it's better than the flamingo. It's better than that when they threw that one out there. So
that's true.
Or a swan. We got to settle with. So
yeah, or the golden goose or something like that. I prefer the Dirty Bird.
Right. Yeah. So it could have gone down any one of those roads, but
Plus, the image I get is like, which is what fitting. Karyn Bryant put on the promo. I get also this image of when the dead body in front of you. You scavenge that one.
That's what I feel.
And to take their thunder, to take their success away from them. It's just feeding on the dead corpse.
Yeah, take their skills and take their power, and
take their fame. Yeah, I like that. It's like a filthy buzzard that is cut your throat for her.
Yeah, all right. I get behind that.
Exactly.
I-
Exactly.
I-
Well,
I
I
like
think so too. And also like the image of like vulture too. It's like the vultures are like, you feel like vultures have been around a minute, right? And they know stuff. Like I feel like the vultures of the bird world are like, yeah, okay, I see what you're doing over there. Like we're gonna I don't know. It
You're a
just
badass
feels really
bird,
right.
you know? You ever been like
It's
close
calling
to
you old is what she's trying to say. She's trying to call you old. It's just a backhand compliments.
It's a
I was not calling him old.
It's like a buzzard has been around for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It
know.
was not what I was saying at all, but okay.
But speaking of the early days, I was doing something on my Instagram. He asking for questions people wanted to ask you and shit, and I forgot the guy's name, but he said that I guess he went to elementary school with you,
Right.
in New Mexico, and he said that fucking kid's been fighting from day one, and he said ask him about fights back at the gravel pitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what's the gravel pit?
I don't know about like in elementary school days, you know, you throw blows on the basketball court or whatever, but they have like a big rock quarry down here. And you know, like kids now working in the high school now, they yap and talk about fighting or whatever. But when I was in school, you either went to the cornfield, you got off school campus because fight was gonna get broke up. You know,
Yeah,
we don't want
of
to get broke up, we wanted to box. So, or you go to the rock quarry, which is called the gravel pits. You got there, boxed it out, and by the end of the day, you usually were shaking hands and felt good about it, and you went on about your day. There wasn't all this animosity and the crazy things that we're seeing today. You know, we weren't getting thrown on all these antidepressants and all that stuff. We went and figured it out, and we moved on from our business.
You gave him antidepressants here, Zoloft.
Yeah, you got a mic right here and a backup, and they don't like no feedback. You know, you got to quote there. You know, they don't like it. But yeah, the fighting's been happening a long time. You know, I just wasn't a guy that liked to be picked on, and if I did let somebody do it, then I just didn't like the way it made me feel. And I found martial arts. I found wrestling through that. I didn't like to be a stepping stone.
What they picked on you about in general?
Yeah.
Why was you ending up in these quarrel at the quarry?
Oh, it'd be a variety of things. You know, I come from a poor family. I had eighth grade, I think my dad bought me some Mighty Duck shoes. You know, I think my dad kept giving me haircuts till I was in middle school. You know, with the bowl cut.
Yeah.
It was back to the wall, so you had to fight your way out of it. So
you know, parents didn't know the importance of shoes could fuck up your whole. Shoes is like a car when you're that age. You know, like
it's true.
It is true.
Relentless. If you got the wax shoes from Payless Shoe Source or whatever those fucking place,
the Shacks, which are comfortable, by the way. Rock on Shacks, you sir.
Still, my brother, they used to give you a hard fucking time about that. They call them skips, so they say you know they talk about your family when you have the shoes, the fucked up shoes.
Well, I played basketball before I wrestled and didn't really like it, but my dad bought me a pair of shoes that had the number 34 on them, and my basketball number was 33. So that's mentioned the year out the gate, and then you know I didn't have enough money to get cleats, so I had to use those same shoes to play football. My football number in middle school was 87, and I had 34 on my shoes. So you got a bunch of
that's nitpicky
shit, man. So you just have to,
you know,
you gotta roll with it or throw punches out of it. You know.
You should have told them that's Larry Bird's number. I'm the fucking Dirty Bird.
Exactly.
Wasn't he 33, right? And then
he was 33. Yeah, I'm from Boston, so yeah, he was 33.
So Larry Bird was the ultimate Dirty Bird, tough white guy. He used to get into a lot of fights too.
Yeah,
up in Fond du Lac.
Yeah, and you know, here we have a bunch of different ethnicities. You know, it's a bunch of people. You know, there's not just one big group of individuals. There's a lot of us mixed in one here in New Mexico, and you know, you got to prove your worth at times and get left alone or keep getting poked. But I wasn't one that liked the antidepressants and stuff they were trying to put me on and the Ritalin.
Who tried to put you on that one?
Oh, I had to go to therapy, man. It's up to last.
Oh, because you was getting a lot of shit.
There were things going on in my life at home and just a lot of things. And at the end of the day, it was just I didn't communicate and try to talk it out. I shelled up and didn't know how to use my words. And, you know, I'd throw punches first. And teachers would tell me fighting wasn't going to get me anywhere. So a finger to those guys nicely because I still work with a group of the coaches now at the school that told me I wouldn't get anywhere with fighting. But hey, I got to see a lot of cool places, guys.
That's the same people that ask you for tickets now when you're in China.
Exactly.
Yeah, or want to come to the barbecues and do all the cool stuff. It's like
no barbecue.
It's like no barbecue for you. I'm gonna eat.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that is so yeah. Where in New Mexico are you? What part?
I'm in central New Mexico. I'm just outside Albuquerque. I live in Tijedas in the mountains. So I'm up in the wooded area and driving to town to train.
Now, are you cool with most of the other New Mexico fighters and stuff like that we know of?
I was gonna say, yeah, because we had Carlos Condon on, and we were talking to him about like how rough it used to be back in the day with the hot air balloon gangs. Remember that, Renato?
Yeah, so me and Carlos started at the same gym, and he took it a little more serious than I did to start it. I was one of the guys that I wound up getting shot and got addicted to painkillers, and I was going with Carlos to these clubs with guns in my pants and bulletproof vests on, rolling with Carlos. And he was taking fighting for real. He was going a long ways. He was fighting in Hawaii and Rumble and The Rock, fought Frank Trigg. He was taking it really serious, and he blew up. And my mind was in a different era. I had people calling me champion and putting me on this silly ass pedestal. I took myself out of practices, and I wasn't doing the same work, and still getting credit for it, if you will. And we're in a
natural talent.
What's that?
You had a natural talent.
Yeah, fighting came naturally, so I didn't really have to. I needed to sharpen my mindset of it, and go from there and dig down and be in training camps. I wasn't taking it serious like Carlos was, but I was still wanted to be one of those tough guys or whatever. And street fights, you don't fight fair, and you had to be ready at all costs when things pop off over here in Albuquerque.
Yeah, I mean, you brushed over it real quick. I was going to ask you about this. I had an article that said that you had got into a situation, beef, and got shot. And that was the first part of it. And I think, was this the same thing that got you into doing some time behind bars?
Yeah,
this was something else.
It was a build up to that. I didn't have my daughters then, and I didn't have responsibility and goals. I was running with the wrong crowd and really surrounding myself with the wrong people. It came where I thought I was smarter than a judge out here. He's retired, Judge Jones, and I kept lying to him and just thought I was smarter than the guy. And he's very, very smart. He's a smart guy. So, he sent me to prison on misdemeanors. At the time, I was one of 4 New Mexicans to go to prison without a felony. I don't know if that number's changed now or whatever, but I got my misdemeanor probation, 537 days in the Department of Corrections. I got a prison number. But I didn't discharge with parole. They don't parole you on misdemeanor. So I rode that time out, realized that I wanted some different stuff. And then I got out, went back to the gym where Carlos was at Fit in HB, rebuilt bridges I burnt, and just took a long time to get people to believe me that I was back on track. I did a lot of bad things. I was running around a lot, partying a lot, and it's crazy because I didn't party all through school till I was 18 or whatever. When I got shot when I was like 19, I think 19 or 20, I wasn't even old enough to be in the bars or whatever. That's when things just kind of spiraled out of control, and it was like a 5-year thing of just a blur. It just kind of flew by, and I didn't realize when I got locked up and I looked at myself, like, you walk in there and you got a toilet there, 2 bunks, and you have this crappy mirror to look in. I didn't recognize my face. I didn't recognize myself whenever I got locked up. So I took the Department of Corrections and did just that. I used it to correct myself and figure out what I wanted to do. And I didn't like getting handed recycled underwear that had already been worn and these nasty clothes. And
the food
was bad. You can't get up and get your own orange juice at night. You got somebody telling you to go to bed. And hell, I'm a grown man that's supposed to be this tough guy, and I'm having to call home and ask my mom for commissary money. It's not different. My decision, just I was embarrassed looking back and wanted to fix that stuff.
Good for you, my brother, because you got a couple stuffs that, I mean, 3 of those things is things that some people just don't come back from. You
never come back from, right?
One, getting shot, whatever. I mean, there's people who get shot, but the fact that you got hooked on the painkillers, I've known people that situation have happened and it destroyed their life, because just that one thing, and then prison, a lot of times it don't work as the correction and it just fucks you up even more.
Makes you worse.
So
I locked up with a couple guys that we all went in with 18 months, and then when it ended, they were doing 7, 8, 10 years for stabbings and a bunch of stuff. So their stuff definitely they were into the gangs in 18th Street, and they were into these things that it wasn't going to let them live a prosper life or let them be able to get back to society and move on. And not bad guys, just bad decisions.
I know. And that's a vicious cycle, because sometimes it's like you get in there and then you have to do certain stuff to survive. And then because you're helping yourself survive, then you get more time. And then what the fuck, you know? I mean, it's a tough one.
Yeah, so I went in and I had a big clear bag when you get transferred to where you're going. And I was scared, very, very scared. And you get sent into a room and you get the guy that comes up to me asking for my paperwork and wants to see what I'm in there for, see if I can live in the dorm. And as he's reading my paperwork, I just started punching him. They came in, got me, took me to SEG, and then when they let me out, me and the dude were actually cool. We played chess through the little events or whatever, you know. You call it out kind of like Battleship and play your chess or whatever. We were in there 2 weeks, came out, we were good. You're in like a big boys camp there. You're throwing horseshoes and wall ball and basketball courts, and I see why them dudes repeat and go back. You know, once you get commissary and get your little job, the food's not bad, and you get free rent. You know, so, but it just wasn't like, I don't like washing my socks in the sink and doing things like that. I want to go back to a normal life. So. And
being around all dudes and shit, you know?
Yeah, it's a bad thing, right?
I don't guys gotta.
I'm like, dude, I like your cocoa butter, but I need to see a girl, you know? It's like,
it's wild because, by the way, Tim Misdemeanor Means is also a solid nickname. Like,
that's the first time ever. That's good.
Misdemeanor. Oh, speaking of that, some other guy goes on my Instagram and he goes, the Dirty Bird is one of my favorite nicknames, but I have to say he missed out on the opportunity to be called Tim Means Business.
Business, exactly.
Yeah, Coach Arlene had given me that name early, you know, like right when I first started fighting, and nobody called me that. Everybody was calling me Dirty Bird, so that name just
it would also be hard if you put the last name. I mean, the nickname as the last name. It either in the front or in the middle. You can't really do the last.
I agree.
Dirty Library Shortcake is saying Dirty Jailbird.
Oh God, that's a low blow.
That is a low blow.
It happens, you know. I'm gonna go ahead and get that tattooed on my neck now. You know, we'll roll with it.
Your lady's gonna love that, from fucking Tom Brady to whatchamacallit.
But by the way, I was gonna say, same person just said. She also just said, I never realized Tim Means was hot till tonight. So,
God, are you?
Thank you.
This might be your coming out party, Tim. I mean, you know, it's like everybody all of a sudden hip to that. You know, it's funny because his wife. I forget. Wait, who was it? Who did you? I should remember this. Who was your last fight against?
Nicholas Dalby.
All right. Okay. So I remember I was working that night, and Nicholas is a great guy. And you guys actually, I don't know how well you know him or how much time you spent speaking with him. There's a lot in common in that he's been to hell and back himself as well, right? Like he's been through some things. His thing was a drug addiction, and it was a different kind of thing for him, but hell and back. But anyway, I remember that night. I remember being there, and it's like, there's so much goodwill toward you and the veterans. And I think, Renato, I think you and I were even talking about, like, after Tim's fight, that there are certain fighters where you go, like, I don't mean any disrespect to their opponent. And like, you want these young bucks to like come up and get their due. But every now and then a veteran throws down and your heart's just with the veteran. And I feel like you're one of those guys that has so much like fan support and positive will toward you. Do you feel that?
I get a lot of love. It's cool. You know, I get a lot of respect. Get a lot of respect from the other fighters on the roster. You know, they brought up in an interview yesterday, it's my 25th UFC fight, you know, so, you know, 50 fights total now with Muay Thai, boxing, MMA. So it's been a long time coming. Another humbling experience is, you know, I have kids I'm training with right now, or not kids, young men that came up through my Big Kids program. They started when they were 7 and 8. Now we just turned 21 the other day.
Wow.
And we actually have to fight these little bastards now because they're meaner than shit. We taught them well. So it's cool to keep the target on my back as long as I can get those practices done and keep that type of hard training going and be able to run with these young bucks. I'm going to carry this out and see how far it'll take me. But definitely thinking of the horizon and where I'm at. This window's closing. I just want to get in some fun fist fights before we walk off.
Well, they don't do you any favors. They always seem to put you with some tough customers. You know, like they're not giving you any easy ones, you know.
Yeah, it's fair. There's so many champions of other leagues in the UFC, in this organization.
That's true.
You can't pick and choose who. If you want a weak guy or you're trying to build that, if you're going to do all that, you need to build your record in the lower organization. And when you get to the UFC, you better be ready to sprint.
Yeah.
Everybody's good and everybody has a name. I think the top 100 guys are top 25 guys. You just have that many guys that are in the division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So everyone is a top guy.
I'll tell you what, though, there's certain fighters that no one's chomping at the bit to fight, and you're one of those guys. You know,
because it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be fun.
It's always going to, even if they win, you know, like one of those fights, even in a street fight, where you're like, I might win this, but fuck. I you know what I mean? I'm going to come out with my fingers going to be hanging off and and my teeth is broken, but I guess I won. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's going to be no fun.
There's not a lot to gain from my name where I've settled myself into the rankings, you know, particularly my fault. I've let some fights get away from me, let some split decisions get away from me. But in all the fights, they've all been scraps. So I can sit here and
always
my hat up, and you know, I've been in some fun fights, even fights I've been winning and happen to get dropped or whatever. They get talked about and we move on.
Right. Well, so what do you make of the matchup with Kevin Holland? Because obviously Kevin is a guy that has bounced between a couple of divisions and he has found success up at 85. He was, you know, he was small for that, but he just doesn't give a F. Like he's, you know what I mean? Kevin is one of those guys that'll just go for it. But what do you make of the matchup, and are you prepared for the fact that he's going to be yapping the whole time?
Yapping the whole time. I've already seen this guy in Bobby Green. Bobby Green came out wearing a chicken suit too in his hometown, and that didn't go good for that guy. I enjoy this matchup based on Kevin's not a guy I'm going to have to go find. He's going to meet me in the middle and try to take me out. He's going to be John the whole time, which is cool for me because, you know, at some family events and gatherings, you just have that cousin that just yaps and you want to kick him in the face. So cool thing about what we get to do is we get to hit our coworkers. And you know, we're gonna figure that shit out in the business meeting whenever we see each other next Saturday. But he talks a lot of character out of the guy. You got to enjoy that stuff. And I saw his little headline when he came out with choking Big Bird or whatever, and it said, "Watch me." It said, "Watch me choke my chicken in Austin." And I looked at that. I was like, I don't have to watch that. I know where we're going. So I know I have a guy that wants to come and put it on for his city. He wants to get out there, get himself a win. So this should be a fantastic fight for fans.
Yeah. Now, when you just said that Bobby Green had a chicken, he put the chicken suit on or whatever, was that metaphorically, or he did something like this?
I think he came out because I was the Dirty Bird, and we had been going back and forth at weigh-ins and almost got into it at weigh-ins. And there was a lot of animosity backstage in the rules meeting. And then as he walked out to the cage, his ass came out dancing in a chicken suit. And I was like,
how did I miss that?
Chicken suit. So
how the fuck did I miss that one? I never even knew that.
It was in King of the Cage. So if you look at my King of the Cage record, I fought a lot of good guys in King of the Cage. And I've really got to develop myself and do these interviews and get under the lights and get the interviews going. King of the Cage treated me real good at preparing me to move up to the UFC or Legacy even. And I can't say enough good things about King of the Cage. It's where I started, and they did a good job of helping me get ready for a bigger stage and more eyes. But got to see guys like Jamie Varn or Jamie, I forget his name. I lost to him at 85 and knew I had to make a drop down. And then I rattled off like 14 or 15 straight wins in King of the Cage and won 3 titles with them. Ran into Bobby Green, ran into good Dom O'Grady, who, you know, he's not here with us anymore. He had an issue, passed away in his sleep. But just some really, really tough individuals that were trying to make a name for themselves. So, you know, I thought my coach Tom did a good job of helping get me ready and not pushing things too quickly. And like I was talking in an interview yesterday, everybody wants to they want to rush everything and grow up too fast. It's like, enjoy yourself, you know, like even when we tell the kids now, be a kid for a while. Don't, it sucks. but everybody wants to run and make it so fast, and they want to jump in there with 2 and 3 fights. And it's like, figure out where your nerves are, man. Run with it. Make sure you're going to enjoy it before, we had a bunch of guys that four fights in the UFC, and, I'm rattling off 25. So I think we've done a good job with the longevity of making this happen and making it a career.
Absolutely.
100%. Well, and it's funny you say that, because every time, you'll get these, and I too say, kids, but obviously they're grown ass adults, but you'll get somebody in the UFC 21 years old or something, 20, 22, because kids train now, so young, so they are ready to be there. But when you get some of them, they say, oh, I'm going to be the UFC's youngest champion. And, I'm going to be a champion by the age of 22. And I'm like, I like your ambition. I respect your ambition, but I agree. I think some people try to hurry themselves too much. They try to get too far ahead of themselves. Like there's a lot to be said for going through the whole process of it and discovering who you are as a fighter and learning. And there's just so much more to it. Well,
for me, and just getting in my trouble, I allowed people to put me on that pedestal, and it took my work ethic out of the gym. And when I hear people talking about, oh, he's the next champ or this, it just really makes me cringe, because you don't realize the pressure you're putting on that young athlete. Guy or girl, you don't understand the emotions that go into this. You can teach a dude an armbar 1,000 times in a gym or 100,000 times in a gym. Those energy and that emotion is going to be different on fight night. The smell, the taste is just different. You can't teach those emotions in a room. You got to build up time. Take your time. Get some fights on you, about 10, 11, 12, 15 fights. Mm-hmm. Walk into this. Take your time with it. Don't rush, and don't let your corner and the people on your bandwagon rush you. And I just wish more young people would take advantage of that and stretching out their time. They got a long time to make this happen, and take your time with it.
Well, people don't want to be where they at. Everybody want to be in a fantasy place. Like when you get old, then you wish you was fucking young again. When you was young, you were too old. Not, it's like we spend our whole lives wishing we was in a different part of life,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I saw a picture the other day. I'm getting ready for my 8th grade graduation. Got a little belt buckle on, some cowboy boots. And I remembered that day of I was telling myself, I can't wait till I'm 24. I was arguing with my dad about something. I'm like, I can't wait till I'm 24. I have my own house, pay my own rent. If I could go back and beat my ass that day.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like, shut up, bud. Listen to what you're being told.
Yeah.
Drive your cool paid off truck to school. Go work at KFC. Get your check. Go hang out with your buddies. Yeah. It's a good day, But we're stubborn. Stubborn, didn't listen. I was waiting to speak, not listening, so
you have to learn the fucking hard way. I mean, that's the unfortunate thing about life, but because by the time you learn all this fucking shit, then sometimes it's kind of too late for you, Poha.
Hey, listen, there's so much interesting stuff here, but Dean D is saying Nick Diaz versus Tim Means, which I'd never thought of that.
Who wouldn't want that?
But I'm thinking, right now I'm like, please, and thank you. Like you have had so many great fights, and obviously Kevin is a name that's on the rise, and you have the opportunity to set him back. But are there fights that you haven't had yet that you wish you did, or now you say you see where you are in your career, and you maybe are already know how many you have left. Are there some names that are on your wish list?
I've always been about letting the matchmaker do his job. And not stepping on his toes or whatever, but I have to beat Holland, and I got a list of guys I'm calling out on the 18th. So we're gonna make sure that we push some buttons and pick some fights, but I gotta put all my attention on Kevin. He has my full attention. I'm gonna take care of him first.
You absolutely need to, and I think it's a great opportunity for you, because I'm trying to think of anybody he's fought that's quite like you.
It's different too, because of he fought Marvin, but that's at 85. It's different now. That's
a totally different kind of fight.
And it's a totally different kind of guy, right? Exactly. It's
it is. I think all the high level guys that he saw at 85, it's just a completely different style of what's going to happen next Saturday. Those guys are big and burly. Holland's built a lot like me. We're skinny guys. We're lean, but we're ferocious. We're wiry. But yeah, it makes for a fun stylistic matchup. And I got offered this fight before I caught COVID in February, when I was going to fight Jeremiah Wells. I wanted to make sure I was coming off 3-fight win streak, and I wanted to see Holland win some fights, and I wanted to see him make weight at 170.
Right.
So we went down a line of guys again, which the matchmaking, it gets a little crazy with getting people to say yes. And then I was kind of like regretting not saying yes. And then I turned around and caught COVID. And I'm like, well, I was able to get healed up, finish with my wrestling team here in Moriarty, finish state with my team, finish state with my kids. So it all just panned out. Life throws curveballs and shit happens. And, you know, you can't stress on the things we can't control. So all those things worked out, and hell, here we are.
Hey,
he's getting right over the Rona right now. He just had Rona last week.
Yeah. How long did it take you to shake that? Because I feel like 90%, but it's been about over 2 weeks now, and I still got a little bit of like.
Yeah, the cough lasted a long time. You know, the aches and the sweats were real. But I was already in pretty good shape, and I was already in camp getting ready for a fight. So I tried to continue to run and run it out of my system, but I had to sleep it off, and like my throat got weird, and just the cough lasted a little while.
I'm in tremendous shape, Porha. Okay. Also,
I wish I had your
shape.
Shirt unbuttoned like that.
Well, I mean, you would too. You would too, Porha. But don't worry, they're still trying.
I'm getting to that age, yeah.
You're getting to that age. Well, I don't know if you're going to age like this to this level, but you can always shoot for the stars.
It's real nice.
Well, I need to put an aloe vera.
Yeah.
I'm grow my own aloe vera in the back.
Yeah, you're going to have to text me all your skin treatments, you know, like
I'll
me out.
Well, you know, not unlike you, you know, when I was so good looking as a younger man that people hyped me up so much, I could have had a great modeling career. But I squandered that one, you know, because I wasn't willing to do the treatment. I wasn't willing to put the cucumber slice, all that good stuff. But now I'm appreciate that one. I get out of the shower, I put the towel like a fucking turban on there, and I have a home. I treat myself, you know, the hard way.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Listen, beautiful men have to stay together.
I'm just saying. Look at I had the Rona too. I had it a long time ago. Like I had it in December 21. It didn't bother me that much. To me, it just felt like an allergy attack. To one of those things where I didn't feel like I had it, and I was lucky it didn't linger. I'm just saying I was lucky it didn't linger. But to your point, Tim, yeah, like the timing works out, things work out, and the cool thing is now too for you. Whereas before, when the fight was booked or things that you might have done, you might have been fighting at the Apex. Now you get to fight in front of a crowd in Austin. You know, so how do you feel? Because you know there have been times, so maybe it wasn't the Dalby one, but there was a different one that you fought at the Apex, where where we were really like feeling the veteran thing. And I know some people really like fighting at the Apex because they're like, oh, it takes certain pressures off, and I feel like I'm in the gym and I can hear my coach, and like I feel comfortable here. And then other people don't like the Apex because they don't get amped up. They're not high-fiving people on the walk-in. They just don't feel that energy. They're not feeding off the crowd. So what do you prefer? I gotta believe you're psyched to be back in front of a crowd.
Well, what does have to do with my skincare routine?
Nothing.
Okay.
Which was lovely. I really enjoyed it. You know?
I thought that was going to lead us back to that, but okay. Anyway, well, I guess we'll focus on your fight career.
I was still focused on the cucumber slices. You know, like that works, huh?
I'm also use zucchini when I'm in a, depend on the mood, Karyn.
What about the coconut oil?
All that stuff is incorporate. I'm
Brazil nut oil.
I have a lot of stuffs in my toolkit. You know, I have
shea butters.
All that. Jehovah. Yeah, Jehovah. I'm a
Jehovah's Witness.
Exactly. I'm Jehovah's Witness. You guys is Jehovah's Witness because look at you looking at that one. You're witnessing this.
That's the Jehovah Witness?
Well, jojoba. You ever heard of that one?
No.
Jojoba oil. You know,
it's like an oil they have in shampoo and just skincare. So you're jojoba.
No, I gotta set my game up. Damn, I'm behind.
J-O.
We got a lot of fucking work to do after the fight. We're gonna do a camp. Don't worry about that one.
Right.
Doesn't Tom Brady do like some skincare Gillette ads? Well, because Gillette runs, Foxborough Stadium is Gillette. So I think he used to do Gillette ads or something, right?
Probably his wife is a model, so she have all that stuff's true.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask my wife what's she been watching, because we got to step up my skincare now.
Well, do your wife have single friends?
She does.
It's settled. I'm gonna come out there.
I'm gonna have to talk. I have to talk to them about this. Is that where we're going?
We gotta set me up. We're gonna have a camp. We're gonna
Whoa.
I'm gonna do like how they used to have a Tupperware party, but we're gonna sit at home. We're gonna do skincare. We're gonna talk about stuff. We're gonna we're gonna have almost like
the whole black mask thing, all that.
Well,
I see my girlfriend around here. They'll have that on.
We gotta be careful not to put the black one on you, because those pictures gonna surface, and then you're gonna get kicked out the UFC card on you.
Yeah. It's gonna be it's gonna be too good. It's gonna happen.
Just make sure you're single ring protection, Tim. That's all I'm gonna say. Because
hey, listen here. Corvinho's one thing. I got over my HIV years ago. You can't even detect the levels is undetectable at this point. Anyway,
I had a real question for you in there before that, though, but about the crowds. How do you feel about the fact that I think it is obviously I don't think anybody's mad about fighting back in front of a crowd, but how did you feel fighting in the Apex versus that? Because, for some people it just sucked, and other people's really thrived there.
Yeah, it goes back to that's the curveball life through, and that's what we had to deal with. So the fans amp you up, get you pumped up, but once you get punched in the face, it's pretty normal. You're like, all right, we're still fighting. So I'm happy to be back in front of a crowd. I'm going to get to see my sister. I haven't got to see since the whole Corona deal started. They're bringing they're going to fly their family in. I have family down in Houston rolling up that I haven't got to see a lot of, because we've all been. New Mexico stayed locked down. Like, we had stores locked down, everything. Our gym was shut down.
Really?
Our whole state was locked down. There was like Walmarts and stuff you could go to, but small businesses and stuff just I guess we weren't smart enough to practice social distancing, so they kept the big stores open and shut down the small guys, which it's a whole nother topic. It was a real slap in the face, but we were able to get through that stuff. But with the crowds and stuff, it was just something I was dealt, and I had to deal with it. So it's something that I've learned to just roll with.
Yeah, I'm happy that we'll be back in front of a crowd. I'm working this show, and so if I'm honest, like I don't want to harsh on Texas. I'm just saying it's not like my favorite state, but I am glad to be back in front of a crowd, for us to have a crowd, and it's fun for us to have the show in the arenas when we're with you guys, and when we do the show and we're at the desk, and like, it's fun to feed off that energy. So I first certainly feel the difference, and miss being in the arenas, with all the fans, for sure.
Yeah, the environment and all that stuff is way cool. You feel the energy, you feel it. I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of choking Big Bird shirts running around. I'll have to buy one of them damn shirts, by the way. As soon as I see Kevin, I need a shirt. I'm wearing that shit to weigh-ins because it's awesome. Dick.
We need to ask him for that once. We should have had him on here to talk shit.
I need one of them shirts.
Yeah, that Big Bird. So it has a Big Bird picture on there?
I'm just speculating, but it started out with like a Big Bird getting choked, or he choked him, or I'm sure that'll get turned into a shirt. It's got to, right?
It should.
Where else can you do it?
All right, Chad, true.
Oh, make some shirts. I need a shirt, bud.
And his wife.
So what do you, obviously, Kevin, when he came on the scene, and I first met him when he was fighting Thiago Santos, which was crazy. And so he's fought a lot of people, and we found that his weakness was, wrestling or whatever. And then he started to try to really focus on that. But what kind of fight are you really expecting with Kevin? Are we really expecting this one to play out mostly on the feet?
I don't know. I've really mixed up my game the last couple fights. It was something that I had in the back of my head. If I want to box, I need to go box, or I need to be a mixed martial artist and then mix things up. And against Staropoli, I hit a takedown right away in the fight, not intentionally, it just happened. Mike Perry, then there was Dalby, got a lot of cage work in those fights, taking guys down. At first, I didn't like the style. I had to go back and watch it. My coach was like, hey, you're staying very, very busy. I had to watch what was going on. And I was like, oh, that's a lot busier than I thought when I was in there, what was going on. So what's cool now is things are starting to slow down. I'm starting to realize where I'm at a lot better in places. The cage intelligence in the cage is starting to really build up. Those nerves don't go away, but really learned how to deal with them over the years. So right now, just being a mixed martial artist, like I said, if I want to box or kickbox, I need to go find those guys, go find that other organization, Glory or Showtime or whatever. But right now, I just want to mix things up and see if I can't trick him.
Nice. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I get
it dirty. You gotta keep your style dirty. That's one of the secret. The fucking elbows, the dirty boxings, the knees and the clinch, all that shit.
Yep. Hey, well, so Tim, I remember we were in Wichita. I don't want to bring up something sad, but you're back, so it's okay. But that was the night when you fought Nico, and you had that awful injury. And I remember we were in the bar after, and you're in your wheelchair, and you had to put up, and you're still like throwing back a couple of beers, and and you were in like really great spirits. And I remember I was like, "Hey Tim, how's it going?" Because I was freaked out, and you don't really know how to approach somebody in that situation. 100%, I'm honest with you, because I don't know if that's a career-ending injury, and I don't want to come over to you and be like, bro, thanks for the memories, and you try to be encouraging, but at the same time, that thing was gruesome. And so I don't know how you came back from that.
What happened again? I just don't even remember what injury it was.
I wound up getting dropped with a punch, and my foot got stuck under me. I thought I was going to be able to roll and get back to my feet, but my foot got stuck and I was right down on it. And I remember they said it KO'd me or whatever, but I remembered all of it. So if that was getting KO'd, that sucks because I remembered everything.
Yeah.
But also I remembered that we were mixing things up well in the fight. I had Nico out of there a couple times. It was back and forth. Again, I was using good wrestling and good ground strikes, good stand-up strike. Things were going well. They were playing well. That's what we signed up for. It just didn't play out. I got lazy with the jab. I thought I had him hurt more than he was, and I hit him with a shot that dropped him into the fence. And I thought he was going to continue down the fence, and he didn't. He hit the fence and sprang back at me. He was upset and hit me with a pretty good punch that, like I said, I thought I was going to be able to roll with it. And I just dropped straight down and broke my leg and my ankle.
It's those situations, I was thinking this is the same shit that happened to Jairzinho this past weekend.
I see that.
He's so used to no one handling the power. So he got sloppy because he was like, wait, this guy should be out of you know what I mean? And got caught with like a little uppercut. I mean, that's what it is. That's who were we talking about last week with Michael Johnson? We were talking about the focus, maintaining the focus.
Because he's had different fights where he was winning, right, and then lost 1 second of thought.
Maintaining the focus for 100% of the fight and never even cutting a little bit of corner of to bring something back or to take for granted that someone is dangerous,
Yeah, and looking back at that fight, I thought I'd heard the 10-second count or the clap or whatever.
Yeah.
And I hadn't feel hurt. I went in for the kill when I could have probably taken a step back, went back to my corner and let it play out. But that stuff's just not in my DNA. I'm going to get in your face. I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to try to get you out of there. And it just, I zigged when I should have zagged type thing. So
yeah, you can't be blamed for that one. But if you look back on it, you could, if you would have just maybe brought back your hand or something, after you throwing one of those strikes or something. No.
Yeah, I did not think he was going to throw a punch.
That's what I'm saying. Like to just assume. I guess the lesson is what to assume that it's anything is possible at any time. I guess I don't know. I mean, is it just fuck it? It was like getting struck by lightning. I don't know. Yeah,
I was just one of them that I was poking the dog through the fence too many times. That fucker bit me.
There you go. Well, Tim is saying that's a great analogy. Tim is saying
who grabbed that fucking kid.
Oh my God, that orangutan! That was insane. Okay, but wait, let me get to this. So Tim has given us a donation here and says, the slaps that you were landing in that Nico fight were pimp vibes. Dirty Bird slap is greater than the Stockton slap easily. He said he had Nico on Queer Street from the Pancrase style strike. So yeah, I mean, it was a great fight. It was a great fight.
And for the record, I've been slapping dudes way before the Stockton slap occurred. Stockton got cool because he slapped Dana White. Dana, give me a call.
What would it be called? The Albuquerque Smarky? What's the where are you from again? In New Mexico.
Albuquerque. Well, from New Mexico. I'm from Winardi, a small town outside of Albuquerque.
We gotta come up with one of those fucking names.
Like a dirty bird peck, like
the turkey,
Yeah.
the Albuquerque turkey.
Albuquerque turkey.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fucking.
The New Mexico Flexico or something.
That's like Flexico Burris.
Flexico Burris.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, I was like, that is the dumbest name I've ever. Plexico?
I don't know how they named him after like a cleaning products or something. That's why he shot himself in the foot, literally.
In a nightclub.
That's some dumb shit right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, okay. Wait, where were we? Oh, the Nico Nacho. We're bringing up some bad stuff. You know,
well, no, I'm just saying though. What's inspiring about that, Renato, is that, like I said, when I spoke to you that night, Tim, I was like, I don't know if this is like a thanks for the memories. Like you're signing off. You're never going to fight again. So how timid were you when you were first coming back from that injury? Like how hard was that rehab? Because listen, we've had Chris Weidman on the show before. We've had people that have been through some really gruesome injuries and come back, and it's really inspiring. But I have to imagine that had to be really scary. Like trying to throw a kick again. I mean, it's your freaking ankle and your shin bone. Like it's integral to the sport, you know?
My athletic trainer here, Eric Archuleta, got me tied in with Dr. Sockman, who's fantastic with those types of surgeries, goes and works on guys out in Arizona, Major League Baseball players and stuff. And at that time when that happened, there was a Dallas Cowboys receiver. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he had broke his leg the same way in the playoffs. And they did the tightrope procedures where they keep the screws and stuff out of it. They do the tight ropes through so the bones can infuse. I did a bunch of research on what he was doing. And after like 90 days, the dude was already running that routes. They were saying that he was only like 50%, but he was doing crazy footwork and stuff. And I was like, oh man, I can do this. So
trying to think of who that was. Who the fuck is that?
I wish my brother-in-law was here. He'd tell me immediately. But yeah, he broke his leg. So I watched him for a bit and did the research on it, and then they sent me out to the PI in Vegas, and Heather Lindland and them were very aggressive. So they had my leg in a cast for like 2 weeks, pulled out this big old protractor thing, started moving it and wiggling it, and then started having me jump off boxes and pick up marbles with my toes, and I'm like, I'm gonna get through this. Like it's gonna work. But they were very aggressive with what they did, and it helped me build confidence immediately. So kudos to PI Eric Archuleta and Dr. Sockman, and I just had a great group of individuals that got behind me, helped push me, and didn't let me make excuses to sit on my butt and feel sorry for myself.
How are you with the picking up the marbles with your toes?
Oh, dude, I got eagle talons down here. I can do anything with these.
I bet you though, those dirty birds, fucking cows.
I was way good. That was my thing, I'm like, let's just put them in the cup, and then there was like weird things we'd do, like they'd spread out a towel or whatever on the floor and then put a weight on it. And I'd have to scrunch the towel in like with my toes and work the flexibility in my ankles and stuff. Yeah. There was a bunch of neat stuff that they did that I never would have thought of, but sports science has shot through the roof since I've started this MMA stuff. Something that's changed night and day. It's tremendous. So watching guys in the NFL run those routes, like I said, and I feel bad for not knowing his name. It really helped me see the positive side of it. And, guys coming back from ACL injuries and crazy things that were season enders. Like Kobe Bryant came back from an Achilles tendon tear. Things that have happened with sports science that is, puts that confidence back in your head. If you're willing to put the work in, we can get it done.
Yeah. Back in the day, that was a career, and back in the day, I got an ACL. Like I was a little kid, I remember sports was fucking done. Like, well, that's it for this guy, especially fucking Achilles tear.
Your Cricket Wireless is back.
I got part of that. Sounded good.
Yeah, Renato, your Cricket Wireless came back for a second there, and you froze up a second. But I know it's crazy because I think Chris was telling us the same thing, Tim, about doing the bit with the toes and the towel and all of that. So yeah, it is incredible. Yeah, Renato, go again because your Cricket Wireless came back for a second. What did you say before?
Oh, nothing. It's not that important. I'm just saying back in the day, these kind of injuries like an ACL or Achilles would be your career is over,
Right,
And,
right. Well, this fight's thinking like with Connor and Anderson and Weidman, like unfortunately we've seen a couple of these occasions and yeah, everybody's been coming back. So it's kind of great.
Yeah, it's cool. I was a little freaked out.
Was it Ezekiel Elliott?
No,
I don't think so.
You didn't say it was
George. No, he was a receiver. He got traded after those playoffs. Damn it. Yeah. I can't remember his name. I have to look him up.
Oh, that's Paul George too. Yeah, that was disgusting. Ugh. He had I was talking about like the infection part of it that they were bringing up, and then even putting me on a plane coming back from Wichita, they gave me a blood thinner because they were talking about blood clots. Yeah.
And I was like, "Whoa, dude! Like for real? I could die on the plane?" And I was a little nervous about that stuff, but the rest of it played out.
That's what happened to Grant Hill. That's why his career got fucked up. Grant Hill in the NBA back in the day, he was like fucking the next Jordan. Then he got ankle surgery, and then he got fucking staph from the doctor from the thing. He almost lost the speech. Yeah, this poor fucking guy. Yeah,
that sucks. Yeah, it's crazy.
There was a Washington quarterback that had gotten a pretty bad leg infection. Came back and played a little bit a couple seasons ago or last season. His was pretty tremendous, and watching his therapy and stuff was
Vinny Galesh had a staph infection and it turned into obesity.
He's not obese.
Still struggling from that. He's still sweaty and fat and morbidly.
I don't think that's true.
Vinny Magalesh is garbage.
On another. I don't think that's true, actually. But
anyway, enough about Vinny Magalesh.
Anyway, Tim, what do you do for fun? I'm not sure. I had to have if it gets loud, I'm sorry, but it was getting warm in here, and I had the kid open the door. But what do you do for fun? I don't know exactly how many kids you have, but like when you aren't fighting, when you aren't training, what do you like to do?
We do a lot of hikes in the mountains. I like fishing. We have a cousin camping trip we go to every year. It's kind of crazy. There's a lot of fires going on in New Mexico and up north. They evacuated a bunch of Vegas and Mora and stuff. So there's a lot of that going on now.
I've been meaning to ask you real quick. This is on the subject about the fire. I saw on your IG that you had a charity to donate to for these people here. Did you want to say what that is for the people here?
Yeah, I'm not running the charity. It's through FFA, through the Future Farmers of America here in Vegas, or here in Moriarty at the high school. They're getting donations and pallets of water and that type of stuff. So yeah, if you want to jump on my page and look up Moriarty's FFA, they've been doing a tremendous job of helping families up there. And my mother-in-law and stuff has family that's been evacuated. I think they've evacuated like 13,000 residents right now up there. So it's a massive fire going on. Silly deal on, it was supposed to be a prescribed burn, and it just got out of hand. So another fire that was going on, and so it.
I hope the people isn't discouraged because it's named after the villain from fucking Sherlock Holmes, Moriarty.
Moriarty. That's right.
I hope it's trustworthy. It's not going to the villain from Sherlock Holmes. It's going to the people.
They might be related. I don't even know who the hell Moriarty was that founded the town. But there's a big story about the dude in the museum there.
He's no good, Moriarty.
No good.
No fucking good.
He's related. They came over here on a ship.
What kind of fishing though? So I guess that would just be like lakes or streams. Like, are you a fly fisher? What kind of fish? Like,
I tried to do the fly fishing stuff. It is fairly complicated, but we have the San Juan up in Farmington has outstanding fish, trout fishing, big trophy fishes up there. So we have. I like to do a lot of bass fishing. So I go to Oklahoma and fish there, catfish. We still have enough water here in New Mexico, but hiking. Lots of training. We do a lot of the stuff with the kids and the wrestling programs and the jits programs. And then sit back, watch movies, Netflix, and chill on some days. And sometimes it's just cool to kick back, throw your feet up, and not go anywhere. Throw a little fire up in the backyard, burns.
Amen to that. I like to chill the fuck out. Yeah. Without the kids.
Yeah, and then you get stuck on stuff like Ozarks and some of these that you have to binge watch. You can't turn the
so good. Isn't that show the best?
Damn it. So good.
Did you finish it?
Yeah. Yeah, and
Me
then you're
too.
waiting.
It was so satisfying and so well done, but at the same time, then you're pissed because it's over.
Yeah, you're like, that's how it ended? You sons of bitches? Been waiting here this whole time.
The guy said, Bateman?
What
What
about
about him?
Didn't he say it's the one more, or this was the last one?
No, this is it.
Oh, okay.
This was it. This was it. And it was great. I mean, it ended in a really good way, but it just sucks because it's over because it's just so good.
Bro,
and I like Bateman. You can pull like the funny character and then the serious funny guy. Like he does a good job with his work. I want to be that comfortable in front of a camera and be able to play stuff, but I forget things real easy.
You're doing great. It's fun. I'm like the #1 Jason Bateman fan over here. So I agree with you. I concur. But honestly, Tim, I'm not gonna lie. Like you're a great interview. I don't know. I think we must have, spoken before at, media day things or something like that. But I think it's weird. Like you've been around so long, but I still feel like you haven't really done that much stuff on camera. You don't really do that many interviews. Like I don't feel like a lot of people have heard from you this way. As they have from so many other people.
Yeah, the UFC doesn't even invite me to like the fan appreciation days or whatever. Like they'll do the whole roster of people. You know what I mean? I seen new people added to the new thing. Cool. I'm gonna stomp somebody's ass, and I'm not going to your party. How about them apples? Right? I'm gonna talk to you guys on here. What's up?
That's what's up.
God, we need to work on the branding or something like that. We need to get people thinking about the Tim Means. Maybe they just think that they buy into the dirty bird. They think you're gonna be antisocial and you're gonna peck somebody's eyes out or something like that.
I don't know.
It could be.
Some days you want to be alone. You just want to go in a store and get some milk and it not take an hour and 45 minutes to get out. Because I talk to everybody. I'm like, hey, how are you? Hugs. What's up? What's going on? And then before long, that 20-minute deal turns into a 2-hour thing, and we're still in the grocery store. So.
Oh God, your wife must hate that shit, huh?
No, well, let's talk the wife thing on the grocery shop. And so when she does her pro boxing and stuff, right? She's a fighter too.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, so she's a fighter too. She's won world titles in King of the Cage and boxes. And
wait, what's your wife's name?
Brenda Gonzalez Means.
Okay, I gotta look. I didn't know that.
Jessica McCaskill, who's like the #1 boxer in the world for the females. She just fought another top prospect they just had. This was last year, but still went 10 rounds with her. Nice. Summerland was really good. But I don't go in grocery stores when she has black eyes.
Right.
2 reasons.
That's smart.
Oh, yeah.
2 reasons. 1, old ladies are vicious. They're terrifying. They want to take you out for domestic violence.
Yeah.
And 2, people don't ask questions like, hey, are you okay? Or what happened? They just immediately judge you. And they're like, hey, you beat your woman up. So when I get out of the car to go in, I'm like, sit your ass down. You're not going into the store today. I'll get you whatever you need.
Yeah.
So no bruises, black eyes. Stay in the car. I'll go get the groceries.
That makes sense.
You should do it the other way around, though. When you fucked up from a fight, you should bring her and just look sad at people like.
And then she should. She'd be like, "What did I say? What are you gonna do?" You should actually work that. It'd be hilarious.
No sympathy.
Yeah, so we were at a restaurant.
It's not hilarious. Domestic violence isn't hilarious, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes, it is. No.
Yes. And we were at
but the turn the tables would be funny to make it seem like you were
with an arrow on my shirt, like
right.
What happened at the restaurant?
So we sat down to order our food or whatever, and again she had a little black eye. And I think it happened in training or whatever. And we sit down and she looks at me, she's cutting weight, getting ready for a fight, and she looks at me as the ladies are taking our food, and she's like, "Can I have an iced tea?" I said, "Damn it. Yes. Hell yes, you can have an iced tea." I'm positive that lady spit in my food that day, and I ate it. It was delicious, and I gave her a good thing.
Wow. Well, it's crazy that you say, because I remember one time after one of the shows, my girl Angela Hill and her husband, we were at the airport, and I remember thinking that exact thing and asking her about it, that how much grief did he get being with her? Because it's after a fight, she's bruised up, and immediately, and especially with them, he's a white guy, he's Scottish, she's black. Like a lot of people are going to assume really awful things. And that's like a real thing that you guys have to contend with.
Well, I feel their pain. We'll just say that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm here for you. Call me if you need any type of guidance. I'm here for you guys. And then the little old ladies with the little soup cans, they are terrifying. Do not turn your back on them. They will take you out.
They want revenge over the dirt.
It's so true. It's funny though that you said like that your wife did that, because there have been times when I know like I'm going to meet friends at the let's say I'm going to meet a friend at the bar, and Hanat, I would probably totally do this to you and it would actually be funny. But I remember one time going to meet a friend at a bar and you just like walk up to him and you're like, oh, so you don't feel like paying child support, but you can go out to the bar. Okay. You know what I mean? You just like
with my girlfriend and stuff. Yeah.
You know, everybody's hearing that. Everyone's going to hear it and you're going to have something to say about it.
Totally.
I do that with all kind of girlfriend, just fucking cause a scene and do all kind of stuff. And they don't want to be part of it, and I would still do it. Get over it.
Oh, okay, Mr. I don't want to see my kids. Like, I can totally ruin somebody if I want to. It's pretty funny.
But it's gonna attract a lot of shitty women to me though, because they want drama. So
I guess.
I guess.
Well, listen, Tim, it is we're just like 10 days or so out from your fight. And I'm really looking forward to it. So obviously you're just winding down your camp now, right? You're maybe gonna spar. Maybe do you spar? Like, how often do you spar now? Like, do you, because so many people now, quote unquote, fight smarter and train smarter. Are you a guy that sparred a lot in camp?
There's been quite a bit the last couple of weeks, but it's not trying to take you out with power type stuff. It's a lot of footwork, realistic speed. And then we've had a couple boxers come in that we actually did throw down, but then we shortened those rounds to 4 and 5 rounds, not trying to do 12 rounds. And then we go from that 4 rounds of sparring to the bag and go finish out on the bag and sprints or whatever. Try to limit the hard ringing of the brain and all that stuff. And then I don't wear headgear. You know, headgear doesn't protect you as much as they say. And I get weird headaches if I'm getting my brain rattled around or whatever. And you have that much more headgear there. You try to make a punch miss, it still grazes you, shakes your head, hurts your neck.
Okay. And you can't see shit. It fucks your peripheral vision, everything. It sucks.
It does. You got like a little face guard in front of you and you're trying to stop kicks and stuff and silly things are landed. But I really got to contribute my longevity of where we're at to the training that I've done with Tom and JJ. We've really got smart over the years and a long time ago with eating based on intensity. You know, I got with Clint, those guys at PI2. We don't count carbs and calories. You eat based on how hard your day is going to be. Light days is carbs, or light days is your proteins and your fats, you know. So really got smart with how to adjust those things. I feel good right now at 38 going into this fight, which some people say we're old. I think I was watching Moneyball the other day with David Justice, and they were saying he was old at 36. And I'm like, hey, the guy's not old. He's gorgeous. No. Give the man some respect, right? Yeah,
it was a great looking.
And then we're on like a 22-game win streak. Give some love. Damn. Right?
Nice.
So, but man, just longevity's been the way, and knowing how to spar when and not doing it too close to the fight. To answer your question, no, there won't be no sparring this week, but lots of high level drilling and wrestling, and we're doing a minute, 30-second minute goes, and a minute and a half goes. It just double legs today.
Oh wow, nice. Okay.
So you get sweating good. So I think I left practice at like 184 today, which is low for me, you know. So. I'm usually showing up like 188 to fight week, cut to 171, but fully hydrated, in shape. Weight comes off, get it done.
Nice. All right. Well, there's one more question here before we go. They're asking with a donation here, do you advocate the relaxing of the rules to accommodate Keith Hockney versus Joe Son-esque ball strikes as a legal attack? I mean, probably not.
Wasn't there like 8 ball strikes in that fight? Wasn't it like punch after punch to the ball?
And you used to be able to grab hair. You remember in the early days?
Yeah. You punch the back of the head. I think Hackney finished that fight with head strikes to the back of the head or something. I don't know. I don't know if it would change or if I'd be doing this today or where we'd be at. I know that to get a commission and get it approved so we could see it on TV and stuff, we had to come up with some rules and make it a little more sporty.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I'm like we were talking earlier. I was a guy that was fighting at the gravel pits and in the cornfield, and fell down the street from the house. So I don't know where I would be in those time of days when it was a gladiator type day when you're fighting 3-4 times in a day. I don't even think you have longevity for that type of fighting, but I don't know. I'm glad I don't
you
get
do
punched.
better on gravel? What if they did gravel like in tennis? They have clay courts or whatever. You can have
We have
gravel,
clay, we have grass, we
throw
have.
the gravel in the face. You know.
Yeah,
You
I
want
think
the
the
kumite.
rule, you don't want to be on your back in gravel, right? Like you don't want to be on your knees in gravel. So there'd be a whole different scenario to this, And then if you fought in clay and then grass, what if it did rotate? Like different days had different terrain.
I'm not opposed to this, Poha. I think
That's actually kind of cool.
I would not mind
I'm
that one.
going to watch from the sideline on this. So we're going to finish
Different
what we
setting,
got.
yeah. Or like, and sometimes you got to fight somewhere where it's really, really cold. Sometimes you got to fight somewhere where it's really, really hot. Sometimes you got to fight like.
Yeah, really mix it up. Like what's the show that they got on, that Naked and Afraid?
Right.
They figure out how to make it get through, even though they have a damn camera crew there to help
So
them
you
through.
right. Naked, true, like in the old pancration days in the Olympic or whatever. You're gonna.
I just think these gotta be just out there, man.
UFC only fan? No, yeah. No, it's funny. You're right. Yeah, because it's like Mortal Kombat, right? Basically, how you can pick like the arenas, you can pick, all that.
There'll be no grabbing of clothes, there other things are gonna get gapped on, but after I'm done fighting though.
You might grab someone and caralho. Do you think that would be intimidating if someone had a Johnson that was down to the knees or whatever? Would that be something that would give you pause if you was fighting that?
Where you're throwing your first strike, that's for sure. Try to punt that thing off. You don't want it to touch you. Don't want it to touch you, so you want to kick it off, right?
That's true. But the Schwanz is resilient, though. I think that it might cover more of the balls.
I don't have a clue, but it might be a protection.
Science, Poha. They teach you in the PI. My PI. I'm experimenting with all this kind of stuff with the female fighters.
And your slow rolls.
Yeah, all that stuff. So I'm a scientist.
Tim, on that note, I think we should let you go and enjoy some time with your family. It is Renato, like I said, it's just 10 days out or so from his fight. So
well, we're gonna be hooting for you, my brother. And we hope that you maybe can do a tribute to us during the fight. You can shout out something or do a move and say this is for you guys or whatever. Because he's gonna be talking anyway. So
yeah. Just find code name in there, be like Roman Gladiator Day, so we have to bump the chest and then throw the fingers where we can see him. Bam.
Something like that. Tell him this is for Renato Laranja. Like tell him that I said hi.
And what I enjoy about Paulin's trash talk is it's usually just random shit.
It's
usually
going
on. He's just doing sit-ups, talking about his mom or whatever. It's like, all right. I'm gonna say some shit too. Caramel, ice cream.
There you go. That's art.
Yeah.
You bring the art back to mixed martial arts.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I like it, that one.
Yeah, you smell delicious.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You're the Alan Ginsberg of the UFC, Poha.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I will see you in Austin. I'm looking forward to going there. I know everybody says it's a great music town, so hopefully we'll go out and hear some music while I'm there. But like you're here because we're fans, and I really am glad that you came on with us. And like I said, I really feel like you're somebody that's been around so long we just haven't heard from, and there's so much cool stuff to your story. So I'm glad that we got to help people get to know you a little bit better tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Always.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I'll see you next week in Texas.
Good night, guys. Appreciate
it. Fly high, dirty bird. Poha.
I'm flying to dinner right now.
Fly.
Nice. See you later, Tim. Oh, I mean, what a dude.
The dirty bird. I never met the dirty birdie before, so it was nice to get to know the bird.
How cool is he?
He's cool. He's mild-mannered. It's funny because he's such a fucking animal, but
I know.
It's funny. It worked like this. Some of these guys who is the most fucking meanest, seem like the Terminator in there, they just end up in their real life just being a nice guy who's just want to go fishing and just chill the fuck out,
It's because honestly, the fishing thing, I remember like Robbie Lawler loves fishing, and I remember it was the same thing. It was like the most violent man. You know what I mean? Like, they like to do this really pacifist type thing. But Yeah,
Well,
no,
I don't know how
it is.
pacifist it is.
Well, I don't know if that's
if you're a fish, it's the most.
if you're a fish is not passive.
Fucking thing on
Passive fish. Oh, get it?
Yeah.
Passive fish.
Oh,
Dude, you got to get rid of I hope you don't get the long haul Covino.
Hey, look, what do you want from me? I hope I don't get it either, porra. Like I'm like, oh, I can't wait to hold on to this one for as long as possible. I'm trying. I have to say though, this last part has been it's a long fucking haul. But every day it's like a 1% better. It's like the way I was last week compared to this week is night and day. You know, even though it was 2 weeks in, I'm so much fun. Look, I mean, I don't know if you
look
can
better.
tell.
You seem better. Yeah.
Last week I was just sweating the whole time.
Yeah.
Now I'm fine. You know, like, so it's really just a little bit left of the fucking.
Nice. Hey, we got another donation here. Tim saying, Hanach, is this true? You once submitted an opponent during the Harlem Olympic trials with a Joao choke, but then you were disqualified for checking the oil too many times.
Yeah, that's a no hands choke that I used that one. It's the Alabama black snake, they call that one.
Is that right?
Anaconda. Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm really excited to see. I think that's going to be a hell of a scrap too. Not for nothing.
Of
Tim
course,
versus
it's
Kevin.
going to be a fucking scrap. And it's funny because, you know, the casual fans is starting to get to know what the fuck is his name now?
Kevin? Trailblaze.
Yeah, the Trailblaze. And then I'm sure some people is maybe gonna sleep on, you know, the Dirty Birdie. And you know, I would, you know, they in for a hood awakening. Now I don't know who's gonna win that one. It could go either way, but I'll tell you what, the Dirty Birdie is not an easy out for nobody.
Nope. And this person is saying here, Janie Moreau is saying, if Uncle Hanach can beat the child support, Covino will be nothing.
Yeah, Covino is nothing compared to that one.
Okay, that's
because
great.
Covino has only been a little over 2 weeks. Child support have plagued me since maybe I'm 15, 16.
That's forever. Okay. Hey, so Renato, I want to get into a couple of things. We have a lot of topics that we could get into tonight. You know, first and foremost, before we look ahead to next week, I want to get your opinion on hold on a second. I just have to look at, because I'm I'm trying to find here it is. Okay. So a lot of people discussing whether or not Biggie versus Volk was stopped too soon.
No, it was not stopped too soon.
You don't think?
No. I mean, I was hooting for a Biggie boy. It was not stopped. What got stopped too soon? His brain damage. So I'm happy. It's not the outcome I wanted. It was the height one. He was just about to get fucking the lights turned out.
You think? But he sneaked out. When he gets waved off, Jairzinho was already like on his way out.
Nah, listen, I'm a big fan. I wanted nothing more than him to win. I didn't not for 1 second that I think that was too quick. I know the thought process is by the time it's getting waved off and all that stuff, you know, he looked coherent. So you're going like, he's going, what? That's a recovery time that he would have been getting just punched in the fucking face with no defense. There's a certain rules. It's not about if the guy is just like unconscious. Are you fucking defending yourself? He wasn't defending himself, and he was about to get hurt there. Sorry. Can I tell you something? He was already hurt before. You know how it started getting bad against the cage?
Yeah.
The thing that hurt him was way before that, when he was fucking up. It's a dog here. I was floating. When he was fucking up Volkov.
Yeah.
And I think it was an uppercut that happened like in the midst of that when he was trying to get him out of there. That thing had him fucked up. And that was the beginning of the end of that. And I think that the Hef's jumping in and giving him some space there allowed him to recover. I sincerely don't, and hey, look, maybe I'm wrong, but I sincerely don't think it was a good stoppage.
Well, so I don't know. I don't know. So I immediately, when it happened, because I too was rooting for Biggie. No disrespect to Volkov, but Biggie's a former guest of ours. People can go back and look at that show. Biggie's a guy that I just really like him. He's from Suriname. He's just a sweet guy. He's got a real nice energy. He's just a good dude. And so I hate when I see somebody's fight stop too soon, where I know they would rather go out on their shield. Like I believe so many of these guys would really, truly rather be on the canvas knocked out than something like that.
That's what you would have had. That's exactly what you would have got.
I get it. And maybe, and that's the whole thing is I respect and I appreciate and I'm thankful for the fact that our refs are there to help our fighters live to fight another day. It's just hard. And I know it was bad that the mouthpiece got knocked out. And I know it was bad. But immediately what I did is I text Heidi, our girl Heidi Dean, who sits right by the octagon there with timers and the whole thing. And right away I text her. I'm like, how'd that stop look to you? I'm like, you know what I mean? Because she's right there. And I'm like, how'd it look? And she said, no, it's a good stop. She said he was tagged, you know. And I was like, God dang it.
I could see that when he was getting lit up against the cage, I was like, oh, the fight's over. I wasn't like, come on, Biggie boy. I was like, well, this is over. And then it got stopped. And I was like, yeah, because I like the fucking guy. I'm like, good, save this fucking guy. You know what I mean? Save him. He's about to get hurt. Why? He's done. He lost. Why have him get hurt? You know, it was over.
Yeah.
Over.
All right.
I think the thing that's deceptive is when the guy is coherent enough to argue with the ref.
Yeah.
It looks like, hey, I was fine. But you only fine because the guy stepped in. You fine because he stepped in and gave you that home to get your brain starting to work again. But in the height then and there, he wasn't firing back. He was just getting cheated off on, and he was about to go slump down and be fucked up, and maybe get something like the dirty birdie, where you fall fucked up and your knee snap, and or you ankle snap off or something. And it's like he wasn't gonna fucking win that fight. It's over. It's over. That's it.
And listen,
in my estimation, as a fan of Jairzinho.
Okay, yeah, and I fully appreciate how hard it is to be a referee and to make these judgment calls, and you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, and it's a challenging job. It's a very, very difficult job. It just always hurts when when you're rooting for the guy that is on the losing end of a situation like that. If I had been rooting for Volkov, I'd have been like, perfect stoppage. Listen, you know what I mean? It's like
what I was thinking more of was fuck. I was thinking about Jairzinho's mistake. I wasn't thinking about the half's mistake. All I was thinking was you had that in the bag, and he did the very thing that we was talking about with Michael Johnson.
Yep.
Because I'm sure your whole life, if you've hit somebody a certain, he's hit everybody he hit that hard have went out.
Yep.
So you do that and you go, what? He just need a little bit more to get him out of there, and he just wasn't thinking. You know what I'm saying? It was like he got sloppy, and
it's tough.
It was his mistake, not the referee. So if anything, that's the lesson. I think without, it's easy for me to say in the safety of my own my mansion, or if you'll call my condo or whatever you like to call. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, were there any other fights from Saturday that you wanted to talk about? Because I have the B-roll from, did you see O'Day Osborne? I mean, it's funny because his knockout, you don't really get to see too much.
You know why I didn't saw a lot of this one? I didn't know it was early. It was an early fucking card, so I think I might have only caught the last fight because someone mentioned. I was texting with someone was like, the UFC is on, and I was like, what? And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even.
You missed, yeah. I was trying to change my lighting because again I looked green, but now I look too blue.
Well, what else you got?
I got this.
Let's see.
I'm trying to match. I don't
What
want to come up green.
What's the other one you got? Well, let me see some other choice. You got one that's more head?
No, just warmer. I'm gonna leave it on this. This is what I had initially.
I think that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so you know, the other there were some other ones on Saturday. I don't know if Elmo Duran, are you getting a lot of comments about your shirt tonight, Renato, if I'm being honest? The West Side Tupac collection.
He's a hell of a fucking shirt. It's all natural, organic.
Is it? Okay, so I want to ask you about this one then. Because Ode, he was on with me and Angie a couple of weeks ago. And Ode, you know, this highlight is kind of funny because you really don't get to see him, you know, do too much because he just kind of came out and blitzed him. But, you know, one thing that's exciting about Ode, he's Jamaican. He's a Jamaican guy. Yeah, his nickname is a Jamaican sensation. And what's cool about Ode, what I like about him is, you know, in these lighter weight classes, these flyweights, a lot of people complain, I don't want to watch the flyweights. They're like, nobody gets knocked down and blah, 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 blah. And why people like Davis and Figueiredo is because of his knockout power and stuff. Well, Ode has it too. And really just level this guy. And obviously, you know, they don't show you the finish, but it was like this comeback, sort of overhandy, sneaky, sort of hooky, and he just lights out. And it really didn't take him long at all.
He put that Jamaican voodoo on there. He
put
that Jamaican spice on that fucking thing.
Yeah, you did.
That Haitian guy didn't know what hit him, huh? He didn't know the Jamaican that stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, it was it's gonna D&D saying Ode rice and peas, Osborne. Rice and peas.
Rice and peas.
Or Scotch bonnet pepper. He's hitting them with something real spicy right there.
And cocoa bread for her.
Yeah, and the cocoa bread. Last one I want. Well, let me. What?
Fish and bami. You know that shit?
Of course, do I know about fish and bami? Come on. Okay, and the one other one I was just going to mention quickly is Evloev and Ige. It's just these guys. I mean, basically, and I know it's like a running thing now, but like, dude, if your last name ends in an OV, like if you get a fight contract and it ends in like OV, you should ask to get paid double.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Also, the one thing though, he don't have the beard. If he also had the beard, and then if his name was a Muslim first name and then a fucking Haitian last name, you're losing. You could forget about it.
It's Movsar.
Listen, you have an Amish beard, a Muslim first name, and a Haitian last name. You cannot fucking win. You can't win.
Like the starter kit to like how to be a dominant UFC fighter. Those are the three things you need.
Yeah, and this guy got to work on his beard though, even though he did okay.
He did okay. Yeah, no, he's good. And I feel bad because Ige's a scrappy guy. Like
he is. Man. I like the way, but
I like him. I like him a lot.
It sucks because it seemed like he was on the upward and then he's had a half chime of it. But that's the way it goes. It's the fight fucking business.
I know.
It's a fucked up business for her. It's hard.
It's the hurt business. I know. Okay, so Renato, a couple of things here now. I want to know where you want to go next. We can look at ahead to this weekend's fights at UFC 275, or we can talk about the whole thing about where we have certain months of the year which you would rather be single. Like, do you want to say fight stuff now? Do you want to move on? We have the nickname bracket. We have some other things to get to.
What do the people want, Karyn?
Yeah, let's ask the people. So people, do you guys want more fight stuff right now, or do you want to get on to some of the other storyline? Here, let me get to the hit list again to share with everybody what we have. These are the options. These are the other topics that we have on deck for tonight. So we've done the Volkov and Rozenstruik, but we've got UFC 275 preview of the who, how, and when people are going to win. We've got Renato's Seasons of Love and Singleness. And, we want to talk about the UFC trading cards, our nickname showdown results, and the next bracket. So, folks, where do you want to go? People are saying they want to do, they want to hear Renato's skincare routine. Jay Burr is saying 275. This one is saying, also they want more fight stuff, upcoming card.
Okay,
we may as well stay on the fight stuff.
Fight stuff it is, boy.
Okay, so here we go then. I tell you what, let's start with the who, how, and when for Glover versus Jiri. Guys, obviously these two, oops, let me hide this. These two are fighting. We do a thing here now, who, how, when, where we want to know your predictions, who wins, how is it done, and when is it going to be over. I'm going to post this later if you guys want to leave some comments here. We're going to put this up on the Festivities IG to get your opinions on how you think this fight is going to end. But I'm just showing you this here now, and then I've got some B-roll for the fights. But Renato, what's your overall general take on this matchup?
My God, I mean, first of all, this is one of those situations, those classic situations that we was talking about before, where it's a person I know and I'm cool with versus a person I'm a fan of that I don't know.
Right.
So it's one of those fucked up things where it's like I want to see Jiri or Jiri, whatever, to become like this mythical creature that is like something we never seen before. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't want it to come at the expense of Glover. You know.
Of Glover. So here we have some Glover footage, and Glover, for folks who don't know, he's been on with us. He's an early adopter of Festivities, and yeah, like I jumped up and cheered when he won, and it didn't matter who he was winning. It's just his story, the fact that he became a champion late in the game. Like, who doesn't like him?
Yeah, it's tough. But then I love the idea. I always love the idea. You know, like when John Jones first came out, and we like, is he really this fucking good? You know, you're like, can he do this to the next guy? You know, so you're just excited to see. It's exciting to see greatness. You know, like to see once in a lifetime crazy shit. You know, so. In that sense, Jiri is like this mythical creature, you know, that I want to believe the fantasy about, you know. So it's fucked up. My heart isn't kind of torn on this, but in the same way, the way I'm seeing it play out is going to be torn too, because I could see easily the old man just grinding him out, taking him down, and kind of making it just a vicious, like kind of Khabib type victory, you know, and saying like, hey, Jiri got to work on some stuff, whatever. On the flip side, I wouldn't be shocked if Jiri just like laser beam fucking knock him the fuck out too, you know. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest.
Well, and I really like what you just said, that analogy of the John Jones thing, because I remember interviewing John early on in his career, and it was that whole thing. Like at first I was kind of pissed because he was beating all my favorite fighters, but at the same time, you're sort of like, how good is this guy? And with Jiri coming on the scene and just lighting people up and making such an impact so quickly, it is exciting. Yeah. And so, yeah, there is something about him, and he's a unique character. There's not other people like him in the UFC. And so for that, it is interesting to see what would happen if he became champ.
Yeah, and I love the mystical martial arts. It seems like, you know, these days with the UFC and all the, you know, the PI and the stuffs and the sports, and it's good for the sports to have this stuff, but it feels like we have lost the old mystery and mystique of the old martial arts, kung fu, you know, the fantasy.
I do.
And when a guy like this come along, it bring back the mythology, you know. It's like, oh, you know, it's like the martial arts, you know. So there's something.
It feels like the Kumite again, like now, because we're getting different characters.
It's so much fun. So, you know, I guess I'm gonna just have to want the best man to win.
I was just gonna say, this is what this person is saying. Kenny Williams saying Jiri Savage, Glover Savage. Let's just see. I mean, it's really that. And that's the thing, though. See, this person, Fundamental Bear, is saying Glover's going to sleep because he's like a.
Listen, like I said, both outcome would not shock me. If Glover just veteraned him up and big brothered him, I would go, yeah. I mean, he have the experience and the, you know, and I could say like, hey, look, Jiri's great, but he needs to work on this aspect, whatever. Mm-hmm. But it could be also just a fucking highlight, like lights out in the other direction, you know.
I know. And somebody had mentioned here in the comments, but that was one thing over the weekend that Dom Reyes was on Twitter and chiming in, and you know, he was saying something about watching, these guys, and it's so frustrating, for him because yeah, like all he did was get killers in front of him. You know what I mean? And it's like there's
They
no
do
growing
that.
pain. There was no
No
time
fan.
to, yeah, no
No
favors, no
fan.
nothing, and it sucks
And
because well, people will maybe writing him off already, and like you shouldn't.
you know what? Was only important is that he don't hide himself off, because it's the fans is gonna be this way. It's like this in any sport. Look at this. A couple days ago, the Warriors was washed up. The Celtics is, and boy, the Warriors, wow, they, and
Yeah.
they had these guys just, dead in the water. One fucking game later, did the Celtics have what it takes? Maybe it's lucky that they get it. And people just have a short memory, and they don't. Let's face it. Most people who's watching this stuff don't even know what they're not professionals. They're amateurs watching this shit.
Yeah.
So as long as he know and his trainers know, he's still in the fucking mix, and fighters know that he's in the mix. He's not going nowhere. This guy, in my opinion, beat John Jones.
Yeah, that was
I had him winning that fight myself. Now, when it's a scorecard, like we say, it's up to the judges. But in my estimation, he actually won that fight. So he did what nobody have been able to do yet, which is beat John Jones. And I mean, I truly believe that,
Some people say Gustafsson did too, but
yeah, I didn't.
The hell of a fight.
I can see the argument for that. In that instance, I didn't have him winning that one.
Omega says you're wrong in that John one, but I mean, it's still, yeah.
You know what? At this point, like I said, it's up to interpretation. I said in my estimation, I have my own criteria, and obviously the fucking judges, who knows what their criteria is. But other people watching at home, they're gonna have another. Just like when we watch movies, that's why you can't let it go to the scorecard, because it becomes like a taste preference,
Yeah, no, you're right. Okay, so next thing I want to ask folks about then is obviously we have another title fight on the card. This is with Valentina and Taila Santos, your countrywoman. So on this one, it's so tricky. And again, we will be posting these on the festivities page on Instagram, and you guys can leave your predictions and all that. And it is kind of fun, for all of us to play along in this one. It's so hard to bet against the champ, Valentina. She's just so dominant. But Taila Santos is scrappy, and also like, there's something to be said about certain people where you just feel like, well, they're not going to really be afraid and this and that, like scrappier and that kind of thing. But I mean, obviously look at the queen, Valentina, this woman, I love her so much. Like she's
I don't see anybody, to be honest. I mean, until I see it with my own eyes, I don't see anybody beating her. I just don't.
I agree.
Not yet. I haven't seen the person yet. I haven't seen any evidence to show me, oh, yeah, this one's going to be the one,
It's interesting because there are girls like Manon Fiorot. There are a couple of other flyweights that are coming up.
That chick is dangerous. That chick is very dangerous.
She is. She's got good hands and stuff. I mean, the thing that's so interesting is, with Valentina is she's a lifelong martial artist. That's literally, her whole life pursuit. And she like when she beat Jennifer Maia and grappled with her, it's like if you ever imagined or pretended that Valentina has a weakness, she doesn't. And then even if you thought you were going into a fight and you had one advantage over you, she will have second guessed what you think that advantage is and then gotten better at it. Then she just,
with someone like her, she checks every single box, even beyond the techniques. She have all the things that you would want in a fighter, and some of it is the shit you can't teach, which is heart, grit, chin. She have like everything plus the technique. So it's like there's nothing she's lacking in, and nothing in. What could you say? I mean,
oh God, she's so amazing. Like she's just incredible. And to me, it's really inspiring to watch her and to have women like her. But here's some work that Tyla has put in. And again, like, she's earned her way there. It's just that.
Yeah, nothing against Tyla. She just haven't showed. I haven't seen what would make me think, okay, she's gonna beat,
Right. It's one of those things where you almost kind of feel like the only time Valentina's going to lose is if she ever were to lose focus and if she ever had some kind of slip up. But
yeah, which of course we know can happen to fucking anybody.
Yeah. But it's true. It's also, I think, and not to say, and obviously you can speak to this, that there's a lot of grit that we get from Brazilian fighters as well. But I do think there's something about Valentina being from Kyrgyzstan. Like there's that mentality. There's this, they don't quit. Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, and there's certain, kind of punches I'm seeing here that is a little looping and stuff like that. I mean, Valentina is going to be straight down the fucking pipe.
She's so crisp and perfect.
But look, again, this is why we got to have the fight. Of course, nobody's infallible, invulnerable, whatever, except for your uncle. But listen, lucky for them, I'm here. They don't have to worry about me anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. And then lastly, and even though it's not a title fight, I wanted to bring this one up because it's been so long since we saw Joanna Young Jacek. So she is coming back against Zhang Weili.
I want to get her on the programming here.
Oh, I would love that. She's such a cool girl.
Funny. I think it would be a funny episode.
I think so too. Yeah, we'll get her on at some point in the future.
Bust chops for her.
I think she's so great. So listen, she for the longest time, man, I used to just be like, listen, this woman is my spirit animal. Like the way Joanna is so feisty, her whole like I don't give it, But here's the thing, I love me some Rose Namajunas, right? So when it came to that, then my heart was like, all right, I'm gonna step away from this one.
Oh yeah, I was.
But what's so great about Joanna? Yeah, it's like she's a freaking dog. Like how you always talk about the junkyard dog stuff. Like
she's like
this woman throws down
a fucking mongoose or a weasel. She's like a little fucking, just a little that bite you, and you know what I mean. Like she's impressive to watch, of course, and she get under people's skin because she talk a lot of shit and stuff like that. But in that, to be at that level, sometimes people need to do that because, a lot of time I think you're just psyching your own self up, It's like just making yourself trying to believe that shit.
Yep. And there was actually a nice moment with her and Valentina, the UFC. It was on there like their IG or something, former foes becoming friends and stuff. I just will say I'm excited to have Joanna back. And I know people talk about the division and, sort of the same names challenging. And obviously now we have a turnover there with Carla, right? And to me, it's nice to have Joanna back in here, kind of infusing that energy back in the division. But it will be interesting to see how she is after the layoff, how much could have changed, whatever, because she's up against a total effing beast in Zhang Weili.
They didn't do her any favors, giving her any kind of tune-up fight or nothing like that. They just threw her height into the fucking lines, Dan. But at this, look, the good thing is Joanna's seen everything, so I think it's like for somebody who's just coming up, who had a long layoff like that, it might be intimidating. This chick have been in there. Once she get hit with a couple of shots and she get the tempo and get her chiming, she's gonna be fine, I think.
Yeah. Well, Zhang Weili's been putting in work, before she was with Cejudo, who will get Cejudo on the show sometime too. That would actually be really fun.
For sure.
I like that dude.
Yeah, so and I like Zhang Weili too. I mean, I don't really have a dog in the fight. So I think it's just gonna be a good scrap for her.
It is going to be a good scrap, and I should let people know that I'll share it later or tomorrow. But if they look on my channel, so I was in China when she won the title, so I was sitting right by the octagon, so I was able to film this really great stuff of her getting it and jumping up on the octagon and everything, and the reaction was amazing because obviously we were in Shenzhen, China.
When everything
it was
you're everywhere. Yeah. When you're there when the Berlin Wall came down.
I was not there in the Berlin Wall.
You're there. It was. the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
I'm not that old.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, but people, and I'm just looking at the comments here. You know, people are definitely excited, but like this person crying uncle saying they're going to take Joanna if she's a plus 140. I mean, that's a pretty solid bet. I mean, Joanna as an underdog is always going to be a good idea because
Yeah.
she is so capable. Even though she's been away, you know how good she is.
Yeah. Somebody said Weili has a great chest, or she has some chest. Does she? Does she have a big chitties?
I think they were talking about Joanna more, but
Joanna don't have no. What?
Joanna got.
She got big.
You haven't. She added. She
Oh,
how can I say this in a?
I got you. She added.
She enhanced her.
Okay, fair enough. But I can't give.
But a while ago,
people credit, like they're fine, whatever. Do your thing. But I'm not gonna give somebody credit for great chits if they bought the chits.
Yeah, she a while ago upsized the cup size. She looked sexy. You know.
But that it was Weili that heavy chitties.
I don't. Yeah, maybe people. I think maybe well, I would guess Weili's are.
Do Weili have
natural?
some big chitties? You know how that happens sometime where you go, oh, caramba.
I don't know.
And then you start to like them more than you did before. You're like, you know what? Maybe I've judged them too harshly or whatever. And you're like, you know, caramba.
Maybe I should reevaluate.
Oh, this chick now. That speaks to me. You know, because some girls don't flaunt it and they have like really big chick. You know, they hide with a sport.
Yeah, they hide it. And then the next thing you're like, where did that come from?
Well, I've told you this before. Now I'm not going to think of Billie Eilish. Until like last year, I had no fucking clue. I just thought she was like a skinny.
That's why she wears baggy clothes and hides it, because creeps like you.
Oh. And then I saw them and I said, oh, caralho, maybe I got to start getting into Billie Eilish now. I go, you know what? This chick what a challenge. What a generational challenge. Before I was like, fuck that green hair and the way she's singing. I go, no, who cares about that? And then I saw them chitties. I was like, what a beautiful voice.
You're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. Okay. At any rate.
Holler at your Uncle Henach, caralho.
Okay, yeah. So that is those are the fights this weekend. Okay, so real quick, since this is still a fight thing, let me just get to this now, and then we'll move on to the summer. You know, the UFC trading cards. While we're still talking about fight stuff, you know, I know there some of my friends got excited because they got a Panini card of themselves. You know, like some of these fights, you know, like it's a big thing to be included in it, and it's a really big deal.
With Panini Grill, or what's the one? The bread. What's the one? Bread. What's that fucking restaurant? Classic bread.
Oh, Panera bread.
What the fuck that have to do with trading cards?
No. This is Panini. And yes, I do have a Panini press myself. But so this is a big thing. And I know, like, so some of these, when I was researching this, Hanach, like one of these sets here, like this, the blue one or here, this like select set from whatever was like thousands of dollars, expensive stuff. Because I had mentioned to you that I saw something the other day that a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sticker from Fleer from back in the day in mint condition had sold for $250,000. So I know that some of these trading cards are actually really valuable, and apparently one of them you get an autograph or whatever. But I don't know how interested our fans are in those. Like, I don't know about it.
No offense, but none of these people is a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar yet. Okay,
but what if you got an autographed Conor McGregor rookie card?
Well, no, that would be fine. I mean, look, first of all, I can't believe those are worth a lot because they look like they're made by Kroger or some shit.
Brewster got 3 Roxy Modafferi cards. Roxy's a sweet girl.
But I never collected. The only one I used to collect was basketball. And, you know, you was always looking for Michael Jordan or like, you know, David Robinson, something like that. And then you would get Honey Cycling and you'd be like, oh, thanks a lot. Or you get like Scott Skiles or some shit like that. Paul Mokaski. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? Vincent Askew.
Right.
So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, how can you say select? It looked like a Safeway or like a house brand. The fuck is
There,
going on?
I don't know. This is what it wait, where? Oh wait,
It
I
looked
can't.
like
Yeah,
Costco, like it was made by Kirkland or whatever. Select.
it, it's there. Those things go for a lot of money though. Like people who are into them, like they spend a lot on them.
Okay,
I'm
I'll tell you this. You're gonna like this. I one time got paid. I can't even remember the amount, but it was like I went to one of these card shop type places. They paid me to be there for a certain amount of time and just sign shit. Okay. So
Mhm.
I just signed anything under the sun that they had. They had pictures of your Uncle Hanach. They had geese. They had all kinds of stuffs, belch, all this stuff. But one of the
yes.
great stuffs that they had was they had a whole stack of Vinny Magalhães fucking UFC cards, and they let me to defile them. So what I did was I drew different unique
Poor Vinny.
stuffs on everyone. I drew him with chitties. I drew him with bags under his eyes. I drew him with a dick going into his mouth. All
Renato.
and then I signed Renato Laranja. Those was up on eBay. Those sold like hotcakes. For that was the most valuable Magalhães cards you ever gonna find. And I meant to send that to you so you could put a picture on this stuff here, but we're
Yeah,
gonna
you should have.
and yeah, and you know what's funny? A few years later, somebody sent me. I don't know how they got my address or nothing. Somebody sent me a fucking Vinny Magalhães trading card in the fucking mail. It was a heel kick in the face, true. A heel stabbing in the back. Somebody, and there was a coward. They didn't put who it came from.
At some point, I'm gonna, this is episode 39, maybe episode 50. Vinny should be our guest or something.
I'll sooner fall on my sword than to let that shit happen.
I think some of the ladies might appreciate having Vinny
That will be
Magalhães on.
last. That will be the last time. You better get ready to do the festivities with Vinny Magalhães. You can do like The Biggest Loser. You can do a new version of The Biggest Loser with him. You can work on fat, out of shape, has been a martial artist. Vinny
God,
Magalhães.
well. Tim is saying Vinny Magalhães is built like a melted candle, and his level of fat is so high that his testosterone is inhibited by the lipid-rich oils that he secretes. Wow, Tim is very, very, very knowledgeable about him.
Well, it's backed by science, what he's saying. So you know it's true.
Yeah, and this is everybody saying it's your mortal enemy.
In March. Yeah, Vinny Magalhães.
Anyway, so
Vinny Magalhães look like, you remember the video for I'm Fat with
yes,
you remember when he go oh whatever, and then he and the shoes start busting open or whatever. He looked like that, the transition, the fat version.
Doesn't though. If anybody doesn't know who Vinny Magalhães is and they're watching this, look him up, and you will see that Renato is really ill-informed about how Vinny Magalhães looks.
He's in a cold sweat, stuffing his face in Vegas somewhere right now. In his fucking shanty. Shanty town. God, he's a piece of shit. Yeah.
Hey, Renato, let's change subjects now.
Please, yes.
I wanted to get to this, and this is something that this was an idea that you had and you initiated, and I thought, you know what, Renato, you're 100% right, because you know what, folks, you and I, we all know out there are seasons of love.
True.
Okay? There are certain months of the year we might like to be with somebody, and certain months we might like to be alone. If you'll notice here, your Januaries, your Februaries, your Decembers, the couple is very strong. They fade off a little in March. April, you barely kind of see the couple. October, you're starting to see people couple up. November, warming up a little. But we're talking May, June, July, August, September. That is single time. Is that what you consider? Is that how you see it?
It's trying to spread your wings, because, especially not so much in the places like where we live, where the climate is very mild and there's a lot of sunshine and stuff like that. When you live in a place like New York, or you living in anywhere that have heel seasons, it can get dark and cold and depressing. it take your spirit, and you need someone to, to make you feel okay. And you're in there, you're watching movies, and you're feeling sorry for yourself, and they petting you, and you're helping each other through the hard times, the harsh winter. And then, God, it starts you warming up, and you start seeing all them chicks out there, the sundress, and you're seeing some more of that stuff. And you go, you know what? This is for the fucking birds, okay? Like, I needed you then. Now, I'm not so sure. I feel more confident. I feel more happy. Feel more option. And I say, I'm tired of this stuff. Go find somebody else to kick it home,
Well, yeah, and you bring up the sundresses, and folks should go back and look at the Calvin Kattar episode, because also, by the way, Calvin is fighting next week in the main event at UFC Austin. But Calvin Kattar was a guest on our show. I think it was the first show of the year this year in January, and he was such a great guest. And Rob Flaunch stopped by too. Calvin is a killer. That is one of my favorite episodes. I mean, I know we say that a lot about different things, but Calvin's a G. But you guys got into a whole discussion about sundresses as well, because same thing that he was even saying. He was just like April, May, especially because I'm from New England too, and it takes a long time for it to get warm there. But when it does, like, we are all like, "Damn it, it's finally warm again!" Yeah.
Oh yeah. And after you've seen women bundled up for the whole fucking winter and the fall, whatever, just to see all that stuff against the skin and see some sweat, and just, it's wonderful. It's, and you feel like you earned that one when you go through a whole dark winter,
It's so true. And this person's saying smart take, because the cold weather climates are intense. They're saying Fundamental Bear is saying you got a good strategy here with the timing of the months on and the months off.
You hibernate, you get fat, you get in there, You know what I love? Okay, one of my favorite stuffs, when I used to live in New York during the summer, when the women was having those sundress and stuffs, every once in a while, out of nowhere, you get like a quick thunderstorm, Yeah. And just start pouring rain. And then you see a chick who was wearing a sundress or whatever, and then she's like now drenched.
It sticks to you.
It's sticking there, and the hair is like stick to her neck and stuff. And she looked like Elisa Bonet in Angel Heart. Oh God, are you? Oh,
the humidity in the air, and the smell of the iron from the rain and the sticky dress. Oh, what am I gonna do? It's stuck to me.
The iron, and you smell the punchang in the. It's like, what it smells like? It's summer's eve, boy, huh? Oh God, are you?
But do people do that? Do people I'm curious of our viewers here. Do people do that? Like, do they sort of wax on, wax off with their relationships depending on the time of the year? Because it's a sound strategy, and I think people do. But the only hiccup to that, Renato, was that you were saying in February is definitely one of those months where you would have a person. But then what supersedes, right? It's cold, I need somebody, versus I know you like to dump people before Valentine's Day. So, like, to me, that part, maybe February got a little confusing for you.
To me, Valentine's Day have never been a good enough reason to dump somebody.
Okay.
And the reason is this: I would be more apt to dump somebody, to be honest, before Christmas or their birthday, because that's when you really gotta give them something to hide home about. You can't half-ass those gifts. But Valentine is one of it. Listen, if you just take care of the fucking dinner and stuff, you're gonna do okay, because I mean, what is gonna cost you maybe a couple $100? What? How much?
Well, one thing I was gonna say is that you can. If you wanted to, you could be like, "Oh, baby, we're better than Valentine's Day. That's just some commercial BS. Like, we're better than that." Like, you could make an argument for.
I tried that. That sounds nice in theory, but women.
I'm not saying I would buy it.
It's like this: when someone goes, "Don't get me a present," and then you really don't get them a present, they're like, "God damn," you know what I mean? Like,
you better always get me a present.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like you can do enough lovely little shit for Valentine that's not going to cost you. It's not going to put you in the fucking poorhouse. But on their birthday and Christmas, especially Christmas. Ooh,
No, Christmas you can't, but yeah, and birthdays too. You're right, but yeah, Christmas you got to deliver.
that's one of the best thing about fucking when those holiday hold around and you single, you go, ooh, porra, I'm gonna buy daddy some nice shit for myself this Christmas because you got $300-400 freed up where you don't have to buy somebody shit.
And you're gonna buy it on December 26th on sale.
Yeah, and you're just gonna send greeting cards to your fucking family, extended family. Hey, have a great one. Now leave me the fuck alone. But when you have a significant other, it's like, now, don't get me wrong. It's fun to give people nice personal gifts and stuff, but also you don't have to, and it's just that pressure is off. It's kind of nice too.
Agreed. Well, listen, I this year, as of March, actually, well, I moved out in March of last year, but yeah, so I didn't have to do birthdays anymore, anniversaries, Father's Day, because unfortunately my father passed away a while back. But I don't need to do, because a lot of time I would do the Father's Day stuff for the kid, for him.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that anymore. Yeah. No Valentine's Day, no birthday, no anniversary, no Christmas stuff. So I have, on the gift thing. Yeah. Like I've saved a lot of money.
Probably start doing it through like Secret Santa for your coworker, which is me. So just like you just give a hand of gifts every once in a while to kind of make up for that.
Is that it? Because I was actually thinking that since I do all the legwork on this show and basically all you do is show up, that I should be getting the gifts.
I do all the themes and stuff. Look, casual Thursday or casual Tuesdays or whatever. I do all the, bagel Thursdays.
You do the good clips. You do the good clips. People love the clips you put on your IG. You get some quality clips.
That's true. But I'm not gonna lie, I do.
You do get great clips. Okay, so listen, Renato. So we figured it out. Yes, it is time to be single. I'm single right now. It is hot girl summer. I've been listening to all my Lizzo songs. It's about damn time. Like I am ready to go out there and throw down. Do you have a significant? Are you dating anybody right now?
No, especially not during COVID. Oh, porra.
Oh well, there's the COVID. So you didn't have anybody to come over to like bring you some soup or anything?
I did actually, but I didn't. I did have somebody to give me some soup, porra, and some medicines and stuff like that. But I didn't brought them into the contamination zone. Like they just did a nice solid for me.
Do you have to thank her later?
I'm gonna give them something, some residual, what do you call reciprocation? Yeah, I'm gonna give
her. Good for her.
They're gonna get.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying, Janie Morrow, hot girl all year round. That's what I'm trying to do. I am trying to get it going, Renato. It's gotta happen. Like last summer, I was supposed to have a hot girl summer, and like COVID was still raging. And honestly, it might have still been too new from my breakup to like really be embracing the hot girl summer. It was still transitional for me, but dude, I'm so ready.
Yeah. But I think it's also important. You know how sometimes they talk about this on like people's IG and stuff, like it's important to kind of like visualize and like manifest and stuff like that, what you want. I think in the same situation, you got to understand like what is it that you want, you know what I mean? Because a hot girl summer is a very different stuff from I want a relationship, you know what I mean?
I don't want a boyfriend right now.
Okay, no. Great. So I think though that I think that there's a disconnect, if I'm honest, because when we talk about this stuff, I feel like you have the spirit of wanting to get out there and get some action happening. But then at the same time, I think there's a part of you who don't want to be like a slut or like whatever. I think those two things can somewhat be at odds with each other.
I appreciate that. And here's the thing. So I want to go out, and you're not wrong. I want to go out and have a lot of fun, right? I would love to meet some guys that want to like take me out. We'll have some fun dinners, we'll go dancing or something, I'll have some fun. but keep it light, right? Like we don't need to be boyfriend, girlfriend, but like, it'd be cool if I did meet somebody that I like spending time with and we went out and we had some fun, but you know, they're not like all the time on top of you, like, you know, acting
But here's
but you're right, because I can't go out. Wait, go ahead.
I noticed that all the shit you mentioned, all that shit is shit you could do with a girlfriend, because you didn't mention anything about sex. So you can't leave that out of the conversation. I don't know where you put that and when you put that in this equation. Maybe enlighten me, because all those things you talked about, you could do that with your fucking best girlfriends right now. You don't need a guy.
Right, but if I go out with my best girlfriends to go dancing, we're hoping that like some hottie comes over to dance with you. Like, yes, it's
so that you can do what's the difference? You eventually come down to sex now. So
it would be nice to have some in the next. I don't need everybody to know how long it's been.
No, not that. What I'm saying is, when you're going out and what you want is to have like is to start seeing a couple of guys who's gonna take you out, go dancing, go do some stuffs. Okay, a couple gentlemen. The question is, do that involve sex?
It maybe, I don't know.
Now here's the thing, that if I was your psychologist or whatever, I would say to you, are you okay with keeping that aspect casual, and will you feel guilty or like you can't do that because you're not used to behaving that way?
Well, and that's a fair point, because I was married for 20 years. So I don't know. It's been a long time since I was out caterwauling, you know, with just the girls and doing that. Yeah. So so and to your point, that is the thing, is like, so I have the idea, like, I want to go out, I want to have fun, I want to meet boys, I want to do this. But then there's the other side of it. It's like, and I'm not trying to pretend like I'm some like super famous person or whatever, right? But I do always in the back of my mind have to wonder, like, does this person really like me? Do they just want tickets? Do they like it? There is still a little bit of a like a, I gotta be real careful with who I let in the circle.
What I think I understand that concern. Imagine, Poha, the people wanting to get next to your uncle.
I can't even imagine.
Now I know
I can't.
It's very chamber. But here's the stuff you have to realize about men, okay? If you find, you could work at fucking Baja Fresh, okay? The idea that guys is gonna want to connive and try to fuck you for UFC tickets, I think that's not. I think the percentage of that is going to be so small. I don't think it's something you would ever have to worry about.
Okay.
I think that there's a lot of men, and of course there's a lot of shitty men. I mean, men's going to have sex with pretty much anybody, whatever. But there's a lot of good, attractive men that are not scumbags.
Yeah.
Who would want to just have some fun with you, you know?
Yeah.
With no fringe benefit. The fringe benefit is the sex, and especially if you're not looking for something, you know how refreshing that is. If I could found, you know, and
who didn't want to get her hooks into you,
yeah, and every once in a while you find that it don't last very long, but you'll find women who at least think that that's what they want, and that's what you're looking for, is someone who is not hell bent on relationship, you know, because to me it's a little creepy too. I always boil it down to the friends thing. I don't like to differentiate how I feel about female. That, you know, friendship is friendship and love is love to me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when I hear a girl go, I'm looking for a relationship, I want a boyfriend, to me, that would be as weird as saying, like, I'm looking for a best friend. I'm looking for a best friend. Like, I'm in the market for a best friend. You would look at me and go, what kind of fucking shit is that? A best friend just happened because you vibe with somebody. How you gonna look at that one? But for some reason, we think that it's normal for somebody to go, no, I want to look for the person who is, I'm headed to found someone which means basically gonna make of the 20 guys. It's not even gonna be this many, but let's say you dated 20 guys. Of that pool of 20 guys that you go on to a date with, one of those person is gonna be your new best friend, soulmate for the fucking rest of your life. It's a contrived. It's made up, you know. So I think like I'm like, I don't know if I want to, just because I want to have like some fun with you, that mean that I want to like be you guy forever. I don't know. It's weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, but all of this, you're bringing up all very valid points and all this stuff. And to be honest with you, a lot of this stuff, I just don't even know the answer because it's been 20 years since I was on a date. So I don't know.
I just think, you know how, back to what the Dirty Birdie was saying about fighting and stuff.
Yeah.
You know how he was like, take your fucking time, enjoy, relax yourself. I think that would be that would fit right into the program here. I say, see a couple different guys.
Yes.
Enjoy. If
I would like it.
I'm with that. Don't be already gonna have the championship fight with him already. You know.
No, you're right. Well, you're right.
Why?
You're right. And Presic or Pre says 27 years. Who's the dummy that left this woman? I have so many questions. It was 20 years. That person didn't leave me. I bounced.
Well, I don't want to get into this aspect.
I'm just saying that yes, it's assumption that people always think that the woman is the one that got left.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. I think most people just assume that.
Or maybe it also mean just who fucked this up, you know?
Yeah, and listen, there's never one person to blame in that, right? It's always both of you.
Yeah, and sometimes just like the both of you got into this, the both of you got out of this, you know. It's like being Sonny and Cher or fucking Peaches and Herb, or you know, what's that one? Solid as a Ashford and Simpson.
Ashford and Simpson. Right.
Listen, it's a duo, and then eventually, you know, not everybody's Hall and Oates. You know, sometimes it just, you know, it's time to go on a solo career, or it's time to the magic. You had a couple great albums, and then the magic is fucking. It don't mean that either of you is a piece of shit either. It's like sometimes it's honey's course, porra.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm being a little bit, you know, sort of glib about it, but yeah, it isn't anybody's one particular person's fault. It's two people in the relationship. It's two personalities that mesh or don't mesh for time and don't, and people change and people evolve, or people don't change, or people, you know what I mean? There's a lot to it. So 20 years was a good run. We have an amazing kid. You know, so in a lot of ways, it's not like I'm sitting there and like, I'm not trying to talk trash or be bad like that, but I'm just saying, you know, it was something that I knew for me wasn't working.
I 100% understand. And I think sometimes, you know, when people get all depressed, you know how people act like somebody died when they say I got divorced or I got broke up with. Sometimes you can also look at it and go, okay, well, if they got to the point where it was bad enough where they got divorced or broke up, it should be a celebration, because both of you in time is gonna be better off. It's almost, I mean, you can almost say that 100%. It's like it sucks now because it's sad or it's hard, it's a transition. But once you get over the grief of, no, not for you, but I'm saying once you get, not now, but you know, when it first happened,
he's already had a girlfriend for like 9 months, so he's definitely over it.
So when the grief though is over of the shock and the change and all that,
yes,
you always discover like, fuck, I'm lighter, I'm
better off, right?
I'm not censoring myself. There's all kind of stuffs where you start to realize, you know what, I'm better off. And well, let's face it, none of the girls that I'm not with anymore is better off, but they're gonna have to live with that for the rest of
like I said,
Kanachi's better off.
He's already moved on long time ago, so he's not sitting there crying.
And you know what's another stuff is, like I always compare it to friendship. If you look back at different chapters in your life, like maybe when you was 13 or 12, 13, you know how you had your best friend, you would always go over to their house all the fucking time.
Yes, he did, Dean. But yes, he did.
Well, it happened. What are you gonna do?
He's a man. You guys do that.
I mean, I don't get a girl. No, I don't get a girlfriend here. I feel like the girls do that. I feel like every time the fucking girls get one heel quick, and I'm like, okay, fuck it. I try to go as long as I can without getting settled down or whatever. But what the fuck I was saying? I feel like if I look back on certain relationships where I had like a best friend, like my best male friends from different period of my life, whether it be grammar school, junior high school, whatever. I don't really communicate with none of those people no more. Yeah. Most of them. Okay, maybe it's from high school and stuff like that. But like, let's say my best friends from when I was fucking, 12. But that don't take away how important that person was in my life. And what are they on the Mount Rushmore of friends of my life and important people to my growth, my personality, all these stuff. So just because we're not together skipping around for the rest of our fucking life, don't mean that it was a failure. It's like their life went a certain way. They moved, I moved, whatever happened, and they have they have other friends, and they have another journey to be on, and that don't make it. It don't make it a failure. It's like there was a great friend, and I think people lose sight of that when sex for some reason change everything. It's like somehow because you have sex with this person, if you don't stay with them for the rest of your life, it's a tragedy. And it's like, it's okay. You was okay before you met the fucking person. You're gonna be okay afterward.
And we're gonna be okay. And like I said, we have like an amazing kid, so it's all good. It's great. It's all good. We're fine. It's good. I do want to ask you, Renato. I want to move on to the results the other day from our nickname. Oh, hold on, wait. Let me do this first because I have to hide this. We have this bracket going for, if this is the first time people are watching the show, we've had this nickname showdown going, and we have our results from the bracket the other day, and there were a couple of blowouts. I'm not going to lie. The Natural Born Killer got 80.7% of the vote versus 19.3% for Filthy, and 80% for Korean Zombie versus 20% for Bruce Leroy.
I'm not surprised in the slightest. I think that this is, I'm surprised that it was this much of a blowout, but I had the wins regardless. I didn't think this was going to be first round knockouts, but I think I thought it was at least going to be, this TKO in the fifth or whatever,
Right. Okay. So that makes sense. So that means now then, this is where we stand with our bracket. So we've gotten the first round done. So now we're in the quarterfinals here. So we're going to have Sexy Yama versus Touchy Feely.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God, that sucks. Little Evil versus Thug Rose, the Axe Murderer versus Karate Hottie, and Korean Zombie versus Natural Born Killer. Dude.
I have all my winners. It was easy for me, to be honest. But I don't know what the fans is going to do on some of these. But these ones is easy for me, to be honest.
You think? Really?
For me. I can give you my win on all of those ones without even having to ask. I mean, without even having to ham and haw about it. I got Touchy Feely. I got Thug Hose. I got Axe Murderer. And I got Korean Zombie.
See, the one that is breaking my heart is Sexy Yama versus Touchy Feely. Like it's I don't want to see. And I know we were saying this with the Dirty Bird. That, like, I'm actually glad the Dirty Bird isn't in the thing now, because like that one's so good too. But the sexy Touchy Feely. We've said this before. The play on words, the cleverness, the creativity of that is so good to me, and I'm such a word nerd. Like that touches, that like hits all the things for me. Yeah. But Sexy Yama. Fit that man. Oh my God, that nickname fits that man.
I understand exactly, and I'm on the same page, okay? So here's how I look at this. They even, in all the category, it's almost a stalemate, okay? But the fact that on top of all the greatness about the nicknames, okay?
Yeah.
And how well they fit their guy, all that stuff. The one stuff that put it over the edge to me why he win in a split decision is the fact that the whole thing is a dad joke. You understand?
How do you mean?
The play on words, you know what I mean?
Touchy-feely bit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what it makes
part,
my soul sing. It's so funny and clever.
But that's what I'm saying. And that part is the part that it's the special seasoning that, for me, as good as Sexyama is, as great as I like the fucking guy, touchy-feely. Like when I first heard the name Sexyama, I went, ha, like that. When I first heard the touchy-feely thing, I went, oh God, like, you know how there was on the Def Comedy Jam or whatever? We're
yes.
like, they're doing things, you know what I mean? Like falling out.
Right.
I mean, I was like, I'm dead, done, dead. Bury me. Bury my heart at Wounded Knee.
At Wounded Knee. Yeah, Dean D is saying for the next bracket, how about best walkout songs? Alan Joe Band's Gangster's Paradise versus Wonder Boy's Tenacious D. Yeah, we could do a walkout.
A fucking idea.
Right. Well, so looking at our bracket, though, Janie Murrow is saying the Axe Murderer is going to be hard to beat because the Axe Murderer is going to be up against Karate Hottie. Like, that sucks because those are both perfect nicknames.
For me, it's a similar situation as the Sexyama. I mean, it's great. I find her sexier than the Axe Murderer. All that stuff. I'm more attracted to her than Fufla. But hey, this ain't a popularity contest. This ain't a beauty pageant. This is a nickname showdown.
Well, exactly, and that's what we're saying. It is for folks to remember. It is about the nickname and not the fighter. And so once again, we will, we'll be sharing this. We'll be putting the polls up over the next few days. But here, let me just show it one more time so people know where we stand and what they're going to be voting on this week. But yeah, we definitely want to see where you go, and it's gonna. I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with like a pretty cool like thing for the winner here. But yeah, so here's where we stand. So yeah, we're gonna have Sexyama versus Touchy Feely, Little Evil versus Thug Rose, the Axe Murderer versus Karate Hottie, and Korean Zombie versus Natural Born Killer, which that one actually could be a tough bracket too.
That is at this point. It's like Patron versus Casamigos type of shit. You know what I'm saying? We're not dealing with Beefeater versus whatever. We're dealing with this is the top shelf stuff, and there's subtleties here.
You're right.
Like drinking wine or something like that. You understand?
You're right.
For the faint of heart, somebody gotta lose. Period.
Well, Tim is saying Cuddly Franca should have been there.
Okay, to be honest, I remember fucking Hermes Franca from way back. I never have been aware that his nickname was Cuddly. I didn't know. Never heard that.
I want to just acknowledge here, we have a donation here from Preach, I guess, maybe, saying that we're dope. So thank you so much. Maybe this is the first time checking us out.
He must be a Striper fan, 777. You remember Striper? There was like the religious metal group.
Oh, right.
7 instead of 666 or whatever.
Well, because the 777 thing reminds me of the Silk Sonic album, which I love. 777 is one of the songs on there, which is just so good.
Well, there was probably big Striper fans.
Striper. Speaking of Striper and that kind of thing, I have finally now begun watching Stranger Things this season. Because last week we were talking about it and I hadn't started watching yet. So a couple of things since the last show, Renato. I started watching Stranger Things and I finally did go out and see Top Gun.
I saw and you fucking okay, we're gonna have to talk about that. Hoodie, come on, fuck.
Oh, baby girl needs to go out?
No, she don't gotta go out. She's been doing this thing lately where her doggy bed, she gotta scratch that thing and walk around. And dogs do that. But she used to just do it a little bit. Now she's digging to China through the fucking thing. And I just don't know how she thinks is going to change the situation. It's the same situation.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then it's I can't even hear what you're saying because she's doing this shit.
Sorry.
Anyway.
No, but
So,
I was saying that, yes, I've seen Top Gun now, and I've started watching Stranger
so
Things.
let's stick on Stranger Things first. Now, which episode are you on?
I think I've only watched the first 2 of season 4. And
But
so the last thing I saw is Chrissy the cheerleader, going up on the ceiling.
oh, okay.
I don't
Okay.
want to spoil it for anybody, so I'm just going to
Yeah.
say something random like that.
Yeah. And we're not gonna spoil shit, but at this point, if you haven't started watching it, like, you're not that into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be honest here. But so far so good. Now, I mean, it's fun.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. And just before, I want to pick up where we are, but I just want to say they're saying the 7 is a divine number, and they feel as though you guys are having a healthy, mature conversations about dating, and that's why. So thank you, and I appreciate that too, because I do think so as well. So
thank you, my brother. I think so too, and I think I like now. I feel like something has changed where we can have this conversation, and you not gonna be like, oh, you just want your cake and eat it too. Like, I think people are starting to realize that there's something beyond just people wanting to be greedy or be a scumbag or don't have a cold heart. This shit that I'm talking about isn't about pimping someone out or lying to them or anything.
Mm-hmm.
This shit that I'm talking about it's my honest feelings about shit, and like, I'm not talking about mistreating nobody or whatever. I'm talking about like what makes logical sense to me and how I feel about this stuff, and like how strange I feel that what is normal is considered normal in dating. It feel very unnatural.
Well, you're about what, 63 at this point. You have some perspective.
Oh, caralho. I knew that you would turn this into an opportunity to take my fucking legs out from underneath me, caralho. Which is not unlike what the rest of these succubus and these fucking these shit gargoyle.
So speaking of the succubus, I don't know if there's going to be a succubus on Stranger Things, but yeah, this show is really fun. The crazy thing is, looking back on it, that show debuted in 2016. Like,
it's crazy.
It's crazy to me. Like, that is the one thing that, like, I'm joking about aging, but you're like, wait, I'm sorry, wait, how many years have passed since that started?
Yeah.
And you see the kids growing up, and you're like, wait, they were so young and precious and little before, and now they're grown-ups.
It's hard to understand, to get behind. Here's what you really need to stay away from. Don't watch any interviews with the chick who play 11.
Oh yeah, Millie Bobby Brown.
Her being older now, she also like gussies herself up like a sex
pretty,
like as if she's like a pop star or something like that.
And she's British, right?
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna get to. Also, no, it's fine. But on top of that, she's like, I didn't want to know that. So you just like, it just takes you the fuck out of it, because you're like, no, you're supposed to be. You want to make her 11, and she's not that person. So like, I hate looking at it. I'm like, I don't want to hear you accent. I don't want to see you all gussied up. I want you fucking hair buzzed off. I want you eating waffle. I want you nose bleeding, and I don't want you having no kind of heel personal life or nothing. Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because she's a pretty girl. She models, she does stuff, but I too don't really watch that much stuff with them, like interviews and things like that. Yeah, I don't. And it's and maybe that does kind of help preserve it. And I know in this season there's some new characters and things like that. But I know for me, and maybe for you, like, I was happy. I was like, right on, Winona Ryder getting work again. You know what I mean? Like somebody that from movies back in the day that we loved. And so I like her, and I'm happy to see her getting work again on something so cool. Yeah. I also really like the fucking heavy metal kid, the dungeon master.
He's amazing. My kid says that's her favorite character in the show. Like, she
fucking
loves
great.
him.
And let me tell you something. Speaking of shit blowing stuff for you, I saw a fucking interview with a bunch of them. It just came up on the stuff. Okay, not only did he have just like short kind of almost head hair, but he was like, I thought that, in this sort of instance where I was training to be, I was like, there's no fucking way. I'm like, I'm almost jealous. I'm like, this kid is so fucking good that he seemed like a specific type of American guy who it's like you remember. I remember that guy. Like
we all do.
Who what was the dungeon master guy who was a fucking dork to everybody else, to like the cool kids, but to a certain nerds, he was like mean to, you know, he was like, and he was also like the cool James Dean.
He was the coolest nerd.
But
Like,
nerds, and like he has that guy down to a fucking G, and he's an American guy. I don't know. He's admirable. I'm very much kudos to that fucking kid, porra.
Well, maybe after I finish the season, I'll look into it. Because, I haven't seen anything with him. But like I said, my kid loves him, thinks he's great. I
did that after I was done because I hate getting all that shit. I don't like to see anything get filmed either. Like, you know what? They have behind the scenes shit on like entertainment channel. I flip that. I hate to see anything being shot. I don't want to see none of that.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, somebody said, so she was on Hot Ones? Somebody said, so maybe they mean Millie Bobby Brown was on Hot Ones eating the hot sauce? That would be fun.
Thing or whatever. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Bob Funch, because he likes to fucking eat lemon pepper wings before fight camp.
That's right. Oh, right, with his Dominican wife. We have a donation here from El Pistolero saying Renato Laranja versus Chip Chipperson would have done more pay-per-view buys than McGregor versus Khabib.
Wait, is that the fucking character's name? Chip Chipperson's? Wait,
I don't know. I'm not sure because I'm not sure who Chip Chipperson is. El Pistolo.
Wait, that name. Wait, Chip Chipperson. Is that from the fucking show? Now I can't even remember.
I don't think so because I like Steve. I still like Steve from the show.
Right. Steve is having the. I'm not gonna say nothing. Steve is
don't say
good.
But I like Steve. We'll see. Yeah. So the episode. It's again. I don't want to give the spoilers or whatever, but I am glad that it is back. I'm also watching Barry. I'm
very behind on Barry, but
I've been watching Barry because I finished a couple of other things and I still have to watch Picard. But I was waiting for that to be done so that I could just binge it all over like a day or two.
You still gotta. I don't know if you're gonna be into it, but
they're saying Jim Norton is Chip Chippers. No. Sure what they're talking about with Jim Norton.
Oh no! Wait! Is he the?
It's Jim Norton's character. They're saying Chip Chipperson.
He's not Jim Norch. It's the guy with the beard. It's the guy from. He's the guy who's hang out with.
He's saying it's a different show. Yeah, I don't know.
No.
But El Pistolero is saying Jim Norton does Chip Chipperson.
No, they got the wrong name, Jim Norch. I think he's talking about the guy with the beard, who's with Winona Ryder.
Hop? No.
Not with, but the guy who's help out. Like, he's got like he's balding and he have a fucking big beard. You know, he's like
the one who's in the karate gi all the time and stuff like that. I
think that's who they're talking about. Isn't that his fucking name? Maybe not. I get the names fucked up. But Jim Norton, I don't remember Jim Norton being on the fucking show. If he's on that show, that's a news to me.
That's news. But yeah, I'm excited. I am excited about that. I'm enjoying watching it. And the other thing is funny because, we were talking about this last week that I was watching that before. We used to watch it back in the day. All three of us watch it together. And then now that the kid is older, she's like, well, I'm not going to watch it with either one of you parents. I'm going to watch it on my own, so she already watched Stranger Things, but she was watching a couple.
No, she's like one of the fucking kids.
She's one of those kids. Exactly. So she's like on her own.
I'll watch it by myself.
Right. So,
but Bobby Brown would do or whatever.
Exactly. But so she did though watch a little bit with me because she's, into rewatching it. But so at the same time, so we'll watch a Stranger Things where I'm seeing it for the first time and she's rewatching it. And I got my kiddo into watching Mad Men. So now this is like my fourth go around on Mad Men. And I love this show so much. And I'm
that shit. She likes
it. Oh yeah, no, she's enjoying it because
I'm surprised.
What's interesting about that show is, there's so many themes to it. There's so much stuff about America, people, race relations. Like it's a really intense show and like really dating relationship thing. And she's like, how the F do you like Don? She doesn't swear, but how do you like Don Draper so much? I'm like, dude, I know he's problematic. I'm like, but trust me, like he's a genius at the same time. And running from his past, and he's doing like, and I find myself though defending Don Draper, but I'm like, but he's a bad guy. I get it. But he's not all that. It's a very complicated show to me. I just love it. And but Peggy, like I could talk about that show. I could do a Mad Men. Like if I had been as savvy on the online stuff or whatever when Mad Men first came out, I would have done a Mad Men reaction show every week because it was appointment viewing for me. And like I said, this is like my 4th go around watching this series.
Well, I'm surprised. It's interesting that she would be into that show. But maybe because there's I mean, I guess if you're into that vibe of the suits and the fucking, all that classic 60s shit. Also, I bet you it's a guilty pleasure too to see all the misogyny and stuff like that. Like you know how like sometimes, I don't know, for some reason, if you see Django or something like that, it's fun to hate on like those slave masters and stuff like that. It's like you hate watching it. You're like, oh, you pieces of shit. You know what I mean? But you still like watching it or whatever,
I do. Well, I was, and to your point, and that's the whole thing about it. What's so interesting about it, as a sort of cultural touchstone, if you will, a little time capsule of whatever, because there was an episode that we were watching the other day, and there was a thing about they had a Chinese person in the room and and they kept calling them a Chinaman. And then they would say something like this. And there were things where you were like every they would say a bunch of things on the show. And like, I'd find myself like having this like twitch that you don't know where it came from. And it's because like, those are all the things that you can't say anymore. And it's weird to hear them being said in a context of like, everybody said this stuff. And you're like, well, I know everybody said this stuff. And then you look and you go, it's not that long ago. And so for that, to me, it's very interesting.
Well, and also it's not as if that's not on purpose. It's supposed to make you feel like that.
Right.
And in that, it's almost like comedy or something like that. When certain things, they're putting it there so that you react that way. And it's like, that's what some people don't realize about non-PC comedy, that a lot of times it's like you're doing the thing because you're supposed to laugh, that it's not the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Not that you co-sign the fucked up behavior. You know.
Do you watch Ricky Gervais? Did you watch his new special?
I watch all that shit.
And he does exactly what you're saying. He does that kind of stuff exactly for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, people like him, like you get a bad rap for saying certain stuff, and it's like, clearly he's on the side of the, he's making fun of whatever. I'm not gonna get into deconstructing.
Yeah.
But anyway, she like Mad Men. But back to Stranger Things. Oh, Top Gun. Okay, so Top Gun. I don't want to ruin any stuff, but on a scale, I don't know where you rank it up there. I mean, how good was it?
For me, as a straight up action popcorn flick, I'm giving it like an 8.5 or so. Like I enjoyed it a lot. And it's funny because initially Memorial Day weekend, I was trying to take the kid and she was rolling her eyes. I don't want to go see it. And then we couldn't get the tickets anyway, like we said. So then I the other day I was like, hey kid, we're going to go see it. And we saw it on Friday night. And she was like, okay, cool. And she's like, I've actually heard it's pretty good. And so she was actually not opposed to going to see it. So then when we saw it, and it has good people, like Whiplash is an incredible movie if you haven't seen it, with Miles Teller. So I've been a Miles Teller fan for a little while now, and everybody's like, oh my God, he's so hot or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. I just think he's a really good actor, whatever. But John Hamm, speaking of Mad Men, John Hamm is in Top Gun. And I thought that I've always liked Jennifer Connelly. I like her. I think she's really Requiem for a Dream is an incredible movie.
And speaking of titties,
she's speaking of pretty, did you say? Or
titties, I was talking about sneaky big titties. I mean, anyway,
I did not realize, but yes.
Oh, she had induction. She used to have a gazanga.
Oh, really? With Pretty Girl. But no, I enjoyed the movie. I will say the one thing about it that I kind of was like, is this the plot from Star Wars? Like there was a certain, you know what I mean? Where I was like, that seems really familiar about the mission. But I just was like, whatever. I did really, I enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed it.
cheap story elements, let's say. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I'm asking you as a.
See it. It's definitely where it's good. It's good. The fight, the dog fight stuff, the plane stuff is exciting. I
got a question. Don't tell me who it is, but is there a character? You know how like I would say Val Kilmer as Iceman was the revelation of that movie. Like he's the character where you like, other than the star that you can't stop thinking about. Is there any person that shoot out like that by the end of the movie where you go, oh, that guy or girl was fucking great? I mean, that you didn't know about, but don't tell me who it is because I don't. No, there was no like.
I don't think so because there are ancillary characters and stuff, but I know what you're saying and I know the point you're trying to make, and I didn't feel that way about a sort of breakout, sneaky, subversive that guy, something. But the funny thing, when you see it, you're like, oh, there's Lawrence from Insecure. You know what I mean? And then I've
never one anyway. So.
Insecure is a fantastic show. Okay.
I got a question.
No, go ahead. No, I was gonna say they put Val Kilmer in the movie, which was really great.
Well, you ruined that for me because I didn't know that. But anyway, don't matter. Now, what I was gonna say, do they make the black guy like say stuff like in the plane, like, oh, hell no, or whatever, like how they like to do that? I hate that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like when they put Will Smith, I remember I Hobart, I wanted to fucking turn off the G, because it's like he's supposed to be like a scientist, like a robotics physics expert or whatever, and like as soon as the whole body's on his car or whatever, he's like, oh, nah, we're not doing this today or whatever. And I'm like, can't you just make the guy just be like a nerdy black guy? You know what I mean? Like he can't just, he gotta go like, nah, I don't think so or whatever. And like to the whole bot, it's like, come on, my brother. I don't know. I hate that shit. That shit is like, it make me hold my eyes. I go, this is so chaya.
I agree with you. And I'm trying to remember because there's all these, training sessions, obviously, that they have to go through before the mission. And that's when those kind of scenes would occur. And I'm trying to think back, and there may have been some, but it's fun because basically, I don't want to, anyway. Yeah. I don't remember cringing at like, oh, that's so corny. Like, I don't.
Be like if it was an Italian pilot or whatever, and he's like, Maron, these bogies, I can't get any, you know what I mean? What, the in-flight movie? You know what I mean? Like, why it always gotta be that kind of shit? Or if it was a Jewish guy, he'd be like, "Oy vey, look at these." You know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, Tim,
boring.
Tim, I didn't want to give any spoilers, and this is actually not spoiler.
I'm not gonna. Don't heat that.
Tim is saying his favorite part was when Maverick came out, and it.
I'm not gonna you already fucked up the Val Kilmer stuff, so I didn't know he was in that one.
Oh, you didn't?
No idea, because he's sick. I didn't think he could even do it.
I thought people knew. I'm sorry.
That's what I get for having Covino and not being able to see it yet. But whatever.
But that's exactly why I was so glad he was in it.
Yeah.
Because if you've seen any of that Val Kilmer documentary and stuff, it's heartbreaking and
fucking huff stuff. That one don't go down easy for her. That's a hard pill to swallow. Who knows why people get dealt those kind of cards?
I know. It's incredible. Hey, well, so Hanach, while we were, we're edging up upon the 3-hour mark here, so we might want to think about wrapping it up. Is there anything you want to discuss before we get out of here?
No, I think that, now I want to just have some nice water and maybe take a nice bath or whatever and just relax and to get the last of the fucking Covino gremlins out of there, the Noid. Yeah. I think of them as little character in there, like...
Where are you going to watch the fights on Saturday?
I don't know. I was talking to fucking Payne Griff about, I think he's watching them at somewhere. I was talking to him. I said,
in town, or are you going up to NorCal?
No. Somewhere. He's out here for some fucking reason. I don't know. I'll find out more, but I don't know if I'm going to go. It depends.
How you feeling?
How I feel. That's it. Because I'm not going to, if I feel anything less than 100%, I'm not going.
Yeah.
But I think it's long enough away where I'm almost out of the woods. I feel like I'm okay. And I know I'm not contagious. I'm a week off of past.
Well, right. Yeah. Well, if I come up with a plan or something, I'll let you know. Because yeah, I'm not sure where I'm watching yet either. So figure it out.
I don't mind.
But as a reminder, I'm going to put up those who, how, whens, and people can predict. One thing I have to say though, I feel bad because, we were seeing people can get some. Oh, no, somebody. It's funny. My friend was just asking me if I got hacked. I don't know if you saw my Instagram post where I said I graduated from the Dean Thomas School of Inspirational Quotes.
I did saw that.
Well, my friend just asked me, she goes, "Hey KB, did somebody hack you on Instagram? It may be just a joke, but it's asking something about you graduating from the class of Dean Thomas."
Well, I figured you fucking posted that. I never even considered that. She thought Dean got your fucking password or something?
I don't know, but it's to me just totally busting on our homeboy. Oh God, I love me some Dean. He's a good dude. And folks should know we've had Dean Thomas on this show. I mean, listen, Renato, Who's Who has already been on. This is episode 39. So again, for people who are just maybe finding us, we have had some incredible guests on this show, and we're only just getting started.
Only just getting. We've only just begun, porra.
Isn't that a Carpenter song?
Yeah, a lot of people did that. White lace and promises, porra. A kiss for luck, and we're on our way. We've only just begun.
This person is saying, crying uncle with a donation here saying for excellent 90s crime drama Amongst Friends. Have you seen that?
I have seen that one. That's like Long Island Jewish kids getting into mischief and stuff like that. Yeah, I see.
Okay. Nice. Okay, well, Renato.
If Goodfellas was wealthy suburban kids, Jewish kids in Long Island. Wow, that's the best way I can describe that one.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm trying to think because it actually sort of sounds familiar to me. I feel like I may have actually seen that. I may have seen that a long time ago.
It was direct and hidden by one of the guys who created fucking Entourage. I know the guy.
Gotcha. Well, this is where you can find Fistivities. We're on fistivities.com. My YouTube, that's YouTube/Karyn Bryant. We're on Renato's Twitch. Renato, it's Twitch Twitch Renato _Laranja. And then we are also on my Twitter. You can find me on Instagram at KBHeat, on Twitter and YouTube at Karyn Bryant, Karyn Bryant, as in Kobe. No relation, but may he rest in peace. And Renato.
Now we got him back. We just pulled out. It was going like this, like in the Chop Gun. It was going past the hard deck. And everybody was like, I feel like changing the channel here. And then it went.
Is that right?
Into the stratosphere we went now with the Renato _Laranja.
Nice. Well, yeah, folks, I just want to say thank you for joining us. And right now, that's the only place that you can find these. We haven't put these as audio downloads, which,
no,
I don't know. I feel like we're just such a better visual medium.
I mean, what can you ask for? You can't ask for more. Look at this stuff here.
Maybe I'll do it and see. It's just that just means extra work for KB.
Honestly, it's no sweat off my balls. You could use a little.
Oh, ski.
Yeah, ski. Yeah, till all this till KB crowd. Till all KB.
That's one of those songs when it comes out. I'm like, I should be offended. And I can't.
You can't because you understand that stuff.
Listening to some ratchet stuff lately too, and I'm like, yeah.
Hey, listen, it's not unlike. It's funny because we look at like horror movies and violent action movies. We don't really want to go blowing up people, shooting people in the brain and stuff like that. But it's fun to just fuck around with the fantasies of that,
Totally.
And it's fun to. With hip hop and stuff like that, it's fun to imagine all kind of fucking other grimy shit. It don't mean you hate, you want to shoot a bunch of people, you want to you treat women or whatever. But sometimes it's fun to play around with this dynamic. Wow.
100%. I mean, listen, we all remember, we've all driven around with NWA cassettes in the car, acting like we were badasses. I mean, I did that at like in Providence, Rhode Island. So like, you know, like, and I was not a gangster, and there are gangsters in Providence.
You know what?
But I was not one.
You know what he remind me of? You ever seen that movie Office Space?
Of course.
When the guy's like, yeah, nigga,
Yes,
and he's
exactly.
talking about, yeah, I've never seen a man, and then that dude, he's like that homeless bike and goes, shut the fuck up.
Exactly that.
That shit, when that shit happened in the movie, and when I first
So
saw
good.
it, I was dying. I mean, that's it right there.
100%. It definitely is. And I just wanted to say that, acknowledge, thank you, Slow DK, saying this was a great show. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we are on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. We do this every Tuesday night, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
Every fucking Tuesday, giving of myself freely.
I figured Tuesday was the safest night because ladies expect to be with you on the weekends. You know, Thursday, you know, you have a date on hump day. You always have a hump day date. So I figured Tuesday was the day of the week when Renato might be available.
It's the only one, Paul. The other ones is so full.
All full.
Got this one, to be honest, got all you.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to sign off. I will one more time show you where you can find us. And yeah, we will just say thank you. And yeah, and I will be posting the nickname brackets again on social media, and you know, asking for your guys' votes and stuff like that. And then we have the who, how, whens and stuff. Oh, that's what I was looking at before, for the predictions for the fights this weekend. See? We cool?
Fair enough. Well,
okay. All right, everybody. Well, we will see you. We'll see you on the next one. Okay. Take it. Oh, wait. Well, yeah. Wait. Whoops. Where'd I go? Where'd he go? Where'd we go? Where'd he go? Oh no, I didn't mean to do. I messed up. Wait, you were gonna say something.
That was a slap in the face to everybody who want to see you, Uncle Henach.
What were you gonna say? I'm sorry. I didn't have my glasses on.
I was just commenting on the fucking stuffs, the visual.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, so we're saying ciao, and they're gonna just watch that while we.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna turn it off. So
okay. Well, ciao, everybody. It was great for you to see me again, and I'm alive, and you're welcome from that. Okay.
Yeah, folks, we really do appreciate you joining us. And again, yeah, this is episode 39, 38 other ones to look at. And then we used to do an after party as well. So there's a lot of stuff. Just go to festivities.com or YouTube or whatever and check it out. Right?
Ciao. Until next time.
See ya. I think I got this right. Let me see.